Yo, welcome to AlphaISM Radio. Tonight promises to be a really good episode. As been advertised most of the week, Inkblot will be joining us. Tom Cannon from SRK and the co-founder of the Evolution Tournament Series. So, I'm really humbled to have the opportunity to talk to him about probably the best evolution yet, bar none. So we will also be talking to Rotendo, who has the final rule set for the Gamestop tournaments. There's been a lot of concern about using pads at the tournament, and the pads may not be that great of a quality and so forth and so on. So we'll hear their final say on that and whether or not there might be some alternatives to using the pads that the GameStop peeps are going to be providing at the tournaments. And then of course the main topic is really Evolution 2009. With the game lineup announced, it promises to be one of the best lineups I've seen in quite a while. The response that I've read on the forum and just talking to people in general has been almost 100% positive. I think that under the circumstances, I really don't think they could have done any better than the lineup that they've done. I think it's a great combination of the old and the new, and even with the old in there, there's going to be some twists to it. For example, the 2-on-2 for Third Strike. So, I mean, again, sit back and relax and listen. And now, here's the thing. If you go on forum.alphaism.com, I have a little thread started that's entitled Questions for Inkblot. If you have a question and you can't get on the radio, feel free to jump on there and post. I'll check it every few minutes, and if I get a chance, I will definitely ask the questions that you'll post on there. Again, that's forum.alphaism.com. Under the general discussion subforum, there's the first thread on there is questions for Inkblot, and I'll try to get to you. All right, so enough with the pleasantries. Let's get down to business. Let me see if Inkblot is ready here. I should still have him on my Skype. Let me see if I can have him on my... let's see. By the way, I mean, there's participation, of course, is key. So if you want to join in, that is totally up to you, and the more people that join in, the better the discussion will be, and the more enjoyable the discussion will be. And it doesn't necessarily have to be related to evolution. Just about anything, We could talk about Street Fighter 4, which we're T-minus 10 days. I am personally very excited just because now I heard from the grapevine that the online play will be pretty decent, which was my main concern because there hasn't been very much mention of it. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, it could be 1 second here. Yeah, for the people that were wondering what music was playing prior to the show starting, that was actually Street Fighter 2 Turbo for the SNES. If you beat the game without losing a round, you would get the special. You get the special ending, and what happens is it's basically all the characters showing off their new moves, breaking one of the crates. So it's actually a pretty cool ending. I never got proficient enough to beat in the computer, or I can't lose a single round. So, but I mean, it's really, really hard to pull off. You know, so that was the music that I was playing. Of course, before that, I was playing Super Mario. On an unrelated note, I did get a chance to. And most of you know I'm a musician. I play the violin. I got a chance to bring it to work. Man, that was pretty neat. I forgot how enjoyable it is to play music for someone else. You know, as otherwise just playing it for yourself. You know. So I mean, if you're one of the people out there that are thinking about picking up an instrument, do it. You know, I mean, don't sit there and think that you're too old to start or whatever you have. I mean, it's not true. You know, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. Not everyone needs to become a world-renowned professional, musician. Just like when you play video games, you don't need to be the note adjuster wrong. I mean, just play the game for your own enjoyment and the enjoyment of others. You don't have to worry about trying to be the best there is ever has been. You know, nothing like that. It's not what it's about. I think Tom is ready to go. Okay. Yes, I did. I did play in front of Eileen. She liked it. She thought it was pretty cool. Later on, I will play you what I played. It's actually a song, Chinese opera, basically. It's actually a really, really cool song. So, all right. So Tom is going to be calling in about 3 minutes, and we'll start the interview. Then hopefully Rotendo will be joining us sometime after that. Yes, okay. As part of what we call the poverty series, me and Aperture, who's on RC, we do have a food match. You know, there's a money match. We have a food match. First to 10, whoever wins gives the other a box of Kraft Deluxe, not the powder shit, Deluxe macaroni and cheese. Alright, so make sure you look for that soon. The Poverty Series, me versus Aperture, and I'll record it too, you know. So this is going to be the first in a series in our Poverty Series, and believe me, it's just gonna be epic. So make sure you don't miss out on that. It is not canceled. It is not canceled. You can't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so he's gonna have to buy a PS3. Okay. We're going to do a PS3. When he gets a PS3, we'll go ahead and do the match. Why do I have to go out and get an X360? I mean, they should be getting a PlayStation 3. The PlayStation 3 is the better console. It doesn't. It says the red light that's on the PS3 is actually intentional. Okay? And Blu-ray on there, until you've seen Dark Knight on Blu-ray, you have not seen a great movie in high D. Until you see Dark Knight on Blu-ray, you just have not seen HD yet. So, I mean, I just want to set the record straight on that. So I'll give him all the time he needs to get his PlayStation 3. And then we will start our food match. And you know what? And then I am taking all comers in Street Fighter 4. If you believe that you have the skill, the audacity, the stupidity to challenge me in Street Fighter 4, we will play for food. Mind you that it has to be food that is edible. I am not playing your ass for spam. I am not playing your ass for liver. I am not playing your ass for tuna or anything disgusting. It has to be food that is edible and delicious and fatty. Alright? It can't be healthy food. It has to be fat, delicious food. So if you think that you have the skills and you think that you can miraculously somehow defeat me in Street Fighter 4, I want to hear from you. You can leave it in the AlphaISM Radio thread on SRK. You can leave it on my forum on forum.alphaism.com. However you feel you want to do it. Or leave me a message in private. I don't care. I'm just going to let you know you're going to walk over, but you're going to limp back. Alright? I'm not playing anybody for free. I don't do charity. Fine. I'll take Wilson over from Velveeta. That's fine. It's all the same to me, baby. I'll do it just the same. Now, listen. Amperature. All right. You're talking about giving me all the time to release. No. Okay, now it's time for an interview. All right. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How am I coming in?
All right, man. So, first of all, well, of course, thank you for coming on and talking about Evolution, the most hype event of the year besides Obama's inauguration. So, let me ask you a question. How long did it take for you to decide the lineup? Was it something that took a long time, or did you just hammer it out in one night? I mean, what was the process behind arriving at the final list?
Well, that's an interesting question. It took a long time, but it wasn't something where we had to really, agonize over it. I mean, basically what happened was myself and Mr. Wizard and Tony and Seth thought about it for a while, and we've probably been thinking about the lineup, of course, for about 2 months. And as TVC comes out, and we see how that's how the reception of that is, and then when HD came out, we were looking at that, and so as these games sort of came out one by one, so we know that we have like 6 spots, and then I guess maybe 2 weeks before we announced, we sort of each made our own lists and put them in front of each other, and it turned out that the lists were pretty close to the same. There were just like a couple of games different here and there. Mm-hmm. And so then it was just a matter of saying, well, okay, we know what like 4 of the games are, and now we've got maybe 4 more games competing for 2 slots. And it came down to, in the end, a question of we really want Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, but we have all these other deserving games. Do we really want to like kick off like say like a Third Strike or Full Caliber 4 for TVC? We wanted both, right? Mm-hmm. So so that's where the invitational idea came from. It's like, well, look, we have these exhibitions every year. Let's do TVC as an exhibition, and then if we open it up to like 64 players, then we can just play it off to the side, get it down to 8, and then run it just like a normal EVO final, except run it on Friday or Saturday instead of Sunday. So once we had that, then we kind of cheated, right? And so we kind of have 7 games, but not really. And then it was an easy choice.
That was pretty innovative. Wouldn't it stand to say that actually next year might be a tougher year to decide what games, because by that time, because I know there was a little bit of a little bit window there where you don't quite know whether or not a few games may make it in time on console for Evolution. You know, because I mean next year I expect that Blaze Blue will be available on console, and I expect that possibly even King of Fighters 12.
But yeah. I mean, it is going to be a little bit tougher because this is kind of like the next wave coming across, which is good. I mean, it's a nice problem to have for like 4 years. It was obvious what games we were going to have. We're going to have the same games as last year. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that Blaze Blue is going to take Guilty Gear's spot probably, just because it's kind of like Guilty Gear plus, right? It's got a lot of the same systems, but kind of amped up. But KOF is an interesting one. I mean, the game looks really great. I have never played it, but the trailers look fantastic. But it'll be interesting to see if it has a lot of pickup, right? And then there's also TGC, right? This year it's an exhibition. Is it going to really take off in the community? That's a hard game. I mean, I really wish the Capcom would just release it on PS3 or something, and then I'm sure it would be a lot more popular, because it's tough to get an imported Wii, right?
Right.
And then get a stick for that. And people are doing it, so that's great. But I'm sure that game would have a lot more pickup if it was a little easier to get a handle on in the U.S.
I was just going to say that PlayStation 3 would make a great console, since Japan and the United States are in the same region. So
yeah, exactly.
And I mean, it would be really, really nice if Capcom, hint out there, if they could put it on PlayStation 3. So I actually got a chance to play TVC about 24 hours ago. I was at Preppy's, and I actually got a chance to play it, and it's pretty interesting. It is a really, really cool game. None of us didn't know the hell what we were doing, but the game looks great, and it's very fun. It's different, and I would definitely like to play it more. But it was just more like go there, just experiment on the controller for a while, and then pass it on to somebody else.
Sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at the videos, and it looks like Infinite City, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because X-Men vs. Street Fighter is Infinite City, and it was all right. And then they've got that burst mechanic in there, so.
Right.
I don't know. But it does look like a lot of fun, if nothing else.
It does. I mean, I liked it at least. I like what I saw of it. Let me ask you this. This year, tell us how the whole, if you, most as you can tell us, I thought the idea of tying GameStop to Evolution is a wonderful idea. Whoever came up with that concept of a tournament where the top 16 will get seeded at Evolution, I thought that was an excellent idea. How did that all come about? Because that was really, really quite cool. Right.
Well, as most people probably know, GameStop. I get them confused with GameSpot all the time.
Yeah.
GameStop is trying to do this sort of tournament atmosphere where they're trying to bring tournaments to their stores, just as having a way of doing something for their customers besides just selling games. And actually, their flagship tournament store is like a block from my house.
Wow.
And it's a pretty cool setup. Yeah, lucky me, I guess. They've got like 12 kiosks sort of in like a big circle on this raised dais in the middle of the store. It's pretty cool. So they did the Smash tournament, and I think they've done a couple more. So SF4 is obviously a big game. And we managed to contact them and say, hey, look, we know how to run tournaments, fighting game tournaments. Let us help you and put on basically a marketing event for Street Fighter 4 for Capcom. And they liked the idea, and it's worked out. And this actually, I'm glad you think it's a good idea, because if you've read the forums, there are a lot of people who are a little bit frustrated by the GameStop rules, and they're saying, oh, fuck GameStop, I have to use a pad. Who came up with these fucking rules? GameStop doesn't understand gamers. And I'll let you in on a little secret. We came up with the rules, right? Mm-hmm. So the rules of you have to use a 360 pad and you can't change the buttons. Those are our idea. not because we want to screw over gamers, but because when we were talking to GameStop, we realized it was obvious they're trying to run this thing in 2,000 stores, right? And most of these store managers, they just have to run the tournament because they get a sheet like from the district manager that says you have to run the tournament and here are the rules. And they've never run the tournament in their life, right?
Right.
Really, right? So this has to be done in a way that it can be done 64-person tournament with minimal fuss around this kiosk and done in 3-4 hours tops. They can't spend all day on this thing because they still have a business to run. So we could have gone to GameStop and said, here are the rules that we recommend. You've got to get 2 tournament edition sticks, and you've got to let people remap their buttons, and here are the rules around what buttons are allowed to be mapped, right? And we could have done it totally for like an EVO tournament. And they would have said, are you kidding? This is going to cost us so much money. Forget it. We're not doing it, right? So, what good would that do, right? So, part of what we're trying to do with EVO in general is, especially now that we have, games, which are kind of like, new ammo, is, grow this thing beyond the super hardcore and get people involved who maybe remember, playing at 7-Eleven on the old Street Fighter 2, but haven't played in a big tournament maybe ever, or wouldn't consider playing in a big tournament until you kind of get them hooked with, feeling competition again, right? So that means that, not everything that happens around Street Fighter is going to be, for you if you're a hardcore tournament player. And you shouldn't be upset by that. You should just realize that there's, there are hardcore events like EVO and like Midwest Championship and all those other great tournaments. But to grow the community, you have to do something that appeals to the non-hardcore, almost like by definition, right? If they're already hardcore, they're in the community. We got them covered. Now we have to reach out and try to get the next layer of players who maybe would become hardcore if, you did some kind of an outreach, which is why I'm really excited about the national tournament, because it's going to hit, tens of thousands of gamers, right? 2,000 stores. If 5 people go to every store, it's going to be way more than 5. That's 10,000 new gamers who are playing in the Street Fighter tournament. And it's not like, it's not a Street Fighter tournament like we know them, but it's still competition, and you're still, I guess it's that competitive hook that we're trying to get people on. So, I think it's going to be great.
You know what? Now, here's an idea that for those of you who are listening right now that listened to the last show, I have an idea. When these people that are competing in these tournaments, if they win, obviously they go on to whatever the next round is. Somewhere along the line, Evo 2000, the Evolution site will come into play. Because obviously, I think if they win, if they go out and they win out and they become part of the final 16, they have to go to the site to register, right? Because they're going to be part of the people that are going to be seated at the event for Street Fighter 4.
We'll probably. We know who these people are, right? They're the winners of all the round 3 tournaments, and so. It's pretty easy for us to just have those names available, and if someone, we'll probably send email to these people and say, here's what you've won.
Right.
Here's what EVO is, and if you are coming to EVO, please let us know. And then when they show up, we check their ID, whatever, and then we put them in the bracket. I'm not worried about the logistics behind that are pretty easy to handle.
Because what I was thinking, though, is that maybe we can have, if somehow, do you know whether or not the address to the Evolution site will be prominently available somewhere? Because I was thinking of having a link from Evolution 2000 on the main site to a special part of the SRK forum just for newbies. Because if they just go to the SRK forum in general, they're going to be like, oh, what the hell?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So, one thing that I've been meaning to do all week and just haven't got around to is switch out the banner at the top of the site. Right, and because EVO 2008 is over, DVD sales were fine back before EVO 2009, but time to move on. So I think that's a good idea. And the Street Fighter 4 forum has gotten a lot of new traffic. So there are a lot of things that we can do for new players, like providing a prominent link to, Street Fighter 4 tournaments, maybe in a sticky at the top.
Street Fighter 4 videos, maybe, or Street Fighter 4 how-to.
or stick templates, right? There's the new PE stick. We should probably put the template. Actually, Markman put it up today, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just a thread of cool stick designs that people can print out and put on their stick.
Nice. I was also asked. I'm also wondering. This is a far-fetched idea. Do you know whether or not there will be a link since Street Fighter 4 is officially being supported by Capcom as far as the tournament at Evolution? Do you know whether or not the link will actually be on the actual box itself? Like, if I go to buy Street Fighter 4, will I see the link to Evo 2K on the back?
Oh, no, I don't think so. There's no real tie between Street Fighter 4 and EVO.
Damn it.
Yeah. There's this co-marketing thing that GameStop and EVO and Capcom are doing, which is why you see the EVO logo on their, promotional posters for the tournament. But there's no real tie at all between EVO and Street Fighter 4.
Okay. Oh well, but by the way, did you get a chance to see some of the some of the fan-made posters and advertisements for?
Yeah, those were funny.
Those were funny. I'm going to make it a point to try to get some of the people who actually made them on the radio, because I think that they got a gift. Because frankly, they look official. You wouldn't have known the difference in some of them. But I always wanted to think, what did you think of some of those posters? I think my favorite one is the one where for Gouken, where they paste the win message from Ryu talking about you got to defeat Shane Long in order to stand a chance, and it says now your chance, and they got a picture of Gouken on there. I thought that was pretty damn cool. Yeah,
I like the one with the TV, and it had the quarters, up on the edge of the TV, and just said, "I got next."
I like that. I like that. And I am really. This is sort of the proof that Street Fighter, not just Street Fighter 4, but just Evolution as a whole, there's a vibe on it that I haven't felt in quite a while. I have never seen such a universe. Every year there's always some drama, just because it's just the nature of how it is to have a world-renowned tournament scene. But this year I have heard very little complaints. Everyone is pretty excited about the game lineup. Props to you, Wizard, your brother, Seth, for all coming together and choosing a nice mixture of the old, the new, and even a little bit of twist on the old. For example, the 2-on-2 for Third Strike. I can't remember the last time I've ever seen a tournament that featured Third Strike 2-on-2. And what made you did you do that in the interest of time, or did you just want? What was your thinking behind keeping Third Strike but doing a 2-on-2 rather than just singles?
Well, obviously Third Strike's very popular, so we wanted to keep it if we could. But last year's finals, and actually maybe the year before that, and the year before that, it's just getting kind of old. With so much Chun-Li. So we wanted to do something to mix it up while still, having the tournament. And we've tried the 3v3 format before, and it doesn't really work with a huge national open tournament, because you have a lot of players who have difficulty finding teams, and so they just kind of make a fake team, right? Where it's them and two guys who've never played the game before. So that's why we wanted to switch to the 2v2 format, to make it easier for people to actually find real teams. And then we were using the Waseda format, where it's kind of like a little mini tournament where you'll player one plays player one, and then player two plays player two, and then the winners play. We like that format so that you'll actually see the players play, especially on Sunday, right? We don't want the first player wrecking crew to just bulldoze some other team, or maybe he gets lucky and just beats the other two players, but then you never saw the other guy on the team. It's more more variety, something a little more interesting.
Wow. I like the idea too, and by the way, let me ask you a question that just popped in my head. Is it still possible that there might be games featured, not part of the tournament, the tournament games, but games? For example, a lot of people wondering, well, BlazBlue came out too late on console to be considered this year, but
is it even out? When is it coming out?
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be this year, and it's. From what I've heard, it's supposed to be before Evolution.
Yeah.
And I said obviously it's too. I think it's too late for it to be included in one of the tournament games. But it will be. Are you? Is it possible? Is there any flexibility as far as not having you can't have an invitational tournament, but maybe just a exhibition for Blaze Blue, or there's even one person said they actually had the King of Fighters 12 cabinet. I don't know how the heck that happened because it's not out until April, but someone was talking about bringing a cabinet to Evolution, I'm like, wow. But I was thinking, do you think there's a possibility there might be a couple of games that might be there for exhibition that, but because of logistics, they couldn't be concluded this year as far as, part of the tournament games?
Yeah, it's possible. Right now we're looking at, usually we have maybe like 2 hours, 2-hour time each day for exhibition. You go beyond that and people just start to lose interest and start to dilute the whole thing. Yeah, and PVC finals will take about an hour. And then the HD Remix 5 vs. 5 will probably take more than an hour, probably about 90 minutes. So, we have a little bit more time to play with if something interesting comes up.
Excellent. Okay. Well, that's I was wondering about that as well. As far as this year going in, obviously, is it just like last year? You have to register. There's no registration taken at the door. I assume that's still.
Yeah, it's going to be all pre-registration online.
All pre-registration online. What can you tell us about the hotel that you chose for this year?
The Rio?
Yeah.
So the Rio, for people who don't know, is it's just on the other side of whatever the main highway in Vegas is from the Strip. So you could walk to the Strip from the Rio, but they have a shuttle, and I recommend taking the shuttle. It's not one of the newer hotels, like brand new, but it's not an old hotel either. So it's a nice quality hotel. The room is much, much nicer in terms of the ballroom. It's much nicer than what we had at the Tropicana, so it should be a good event. And the other thing is because it's not directly on the Strip, room rates tend to be a little bit cheaper, so that'll be good. We will have a special rate for rooms, the EVO rate. So if you haven't gotten a room yet, go ahead, hold off for a little while until we announce that. Hopefully we can announce it sometime next week or the week after. But yeah, Green Valley Ranch was an awesome location that we had 2 years ago, but it's out in the middle of nowhere, and the room rates are ridiculous. So then we decided we wanted to go on the Strip. It kind of went the other way with the Tropicana, where it's on the Strip, but the hotel really just sucked. So hopefully we have a good balance now.
By the way, this is somewhat unrelated, but I heard that the Grand. Okay, I don't know if you ever heard of a show called Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
And okay, there is a hotel called the Belgada. The winner of Hell's Kitchen will be the head chef at this. Apparently, is right by the hotel that you're going. I guess the Rio is being held at, and somewhere around July is when they're having the grand opening. So if it happens to be that week, I encourage everybody go out. It'll be free food. I'm talking about free top of the line food. They
Nothing
usually
in Vegas is free.
Well, free is relative, I should say. Okay. I just got a question here. I think I already know the answer to this, but someone was asking why Tekken was not added this year. I assume it's because the newest version won't be out until October.
Yeah, Tekken 6 for console won't be out in time. And then it's like, do we want to do Tekken 5 VR again? And even the Tekken players that we talked to were not really excited about that. But we wanted to keep Namco in the loop because, we've had a long relationship with Tekken Zaibatsu. And, Namco's force in the fighting game industry. So, Soul Calibur.
Well, you know what? It's interesting, though, because even the people that were opposed to having Soul Calibur had to admit that Soul Calibur actually it's a big scene. Soul Calibur 4, I checked it out. It turns out Soul Calibur 4 has a big following, so a lot better than its predecessor. So I don't mind Soul Calibur at all. My brother's a big fan of Soul Calibur. He likes it better than any other fighting game on earth. Not because it plays better or anything. He just likes the animation is better. Like
yeah, I mean graphically it's pretty impressive, and I wouldn't know gameplay wise because I don't play 3D fighters. But you're right, it does have a pretty good scene, which is why we would consider it in the first place. Yeah, so. Like I said, it's a good mix. We want to make sure that anyone who's who's been to past EVO events and sort of our core crew has something, right? And if you've been going to EVO and playing the Tekkens or whatever, and then we say, oh, sorry, Tekken 6 isn't out, no 3D fighters, right? That's not really fair to them. So I'm pretty happy with the balance we have.
Okay, and you already answered this. Why was Smash eliminated? I assume. I think what you said was that there wasn't exactly a meeting of the minds as far as the rules is concerned. I have never bothered to investigate, the rules per se for Smash, but it looks like last year there was a little bit of a disconnect between the EVO staff and the Smash community as far as what they want as the rules, and therefore the decision was made to move on. And hopefully I'm somewhere close to being right on that.
Yeah, I mean, we knew what we were doing. So 2 years ago we held Melee, and we went with the community's rule set. And at the end we were really not horribly satisfied, although I guess the Smash community was, because it just seemed silly. I mean, we were making all kinds of special accommodations for this game that really went against the way that we think gaming competitions should be held. And so we couldn't really, look ourselves in the eye when we were considering new games if we had this thing sort of sticking out like a sore thumb. So, the next year in 2008, we tried an experiment where we were trying to, show the Smash community, well, we think maybe you should do a tournament like this. What do you think, right? And we were actually pretty happy with the results, but they totally were not. And it just wasn't even close. And we were both looking at the same thing, and EVO staff was like, this is great. And the Smash community was like, this is shit. Right? So, we just have a fundamental disagreement, right? So we could try to, we could try to force it and try to shove something down their throat that they obviously don't want. Or, like I said, we could do something that we don't want to do. Neither one of those choices makes sense. So the only thing to do is say, good luck, Smash community. You guys do your thing, and we'll do our thing.
I totally agree with that. I mean, it's after all, they're not. I mean, just like with any other community, they're not footing the bill. It's not like you are renting the space for the tournament. So, but CVS2 being eliminated. Let me take a stab at this one. I think the reason that CVS2 eliminated because I think, as popular as the game is, out of all of the games, it's probably gotten the most stale. Plus, it takes too long to run. And if it had to be a casualty, it would probably be CVS2. I mean, I think that if anything, this is the game that always makes everything one's behind is because of CVS2 because it's just the game is just not it's not a really fast-paced game. It takes a while to complete just one round, and therefore.
Yeah, I mean, it's more the former. I mean, you got the reason, but it's more the first reason you gave. If it was if we really wanted to hold CVS2 and it just took too long, we would do something else, like say CVS2 single elimination or something like that. And it wouldn't be great, but at least we would have it. It's more, CVS2 just seems kind of played out. Kind of like how the alpha games eventually kind of got played out. You've kind of seen everything you can see in an alpha game. It's just sort of felt the same way about CVS2. And, other games just have more longevity. Sort of the games that are the core series, like FP, still has a lot of longevity, and people still get, really excited. Like last year's finals of ST with John winning, finally beating his arch nemesis Taquito. People get hyped for that. Same thing with Street Fighter 3, except maybe when it's Chun vs. Chun. Some people even like that, right? But same thing with Marvel, right? So there's some games that just sort of, have it and can have that staying power year after year. And the Alphas didn't have it, and CVS2 doesn't have it. So, it had a long, glorious life, but now it's over.
I always was also saying, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I like HD Remix. I do not like the quality of the game as far as online play for PlayStation 3. I thought it was horrible. Just because there's just too many bugs and it looked like it wasn't tested properly. But as far as the game itself to me is quite good. And I was saying, I don't know why. I mean, there's only been a few people that asked this, but a lot of people was asking, there's going to be is regular ST going to be there? Why would you want to go back to regular ST? I mean, because to me, an HD Remix, it's not perfect, but no game ever will be. Is a step up from ST. It's a lot better. It's a lot more fun of a game than ST. I mean, to me, that's just like asking, why not go back to, hyper fighting? The game has progressed, and we should keep up with the progression. I don't know why people want to go back to original ST. I don't understand it.
Yeah, right. I mean, actually, some people do say, let's go back to hyper fighting. So, don't be surprised. No, but yeah, I mean, it's whether you like it or not, it's obviously kind of been a clear continuation of the Street Fighter 2 line, right? And there are some things that are clearly better about it. Some very obviously stupid things, like ridiculous loops and Sayet's low tires and all that stuff, have been tweaked, right? So, even if there's some things that you don't like about it, you have to admit there's some things that are better about it. So, why not? There's no reason not to move to it. And if you are going to move to it, like you said, why would you hold ST and HD Remix? That's silly. That's like holding Third Strike and Second Impact at the same time. No one's going to do that.
All right. Let's see here. I wanted to think. I forget. There was a couple other questions I wanted to ask. Let me think here. Evolution. So in a couple of weeks, you'll have the information as far as getting a special room rate for the Rio. Believe it or not, the economy being so bad, and I no one knows it better than me because I work for a damn bank, and I hear that every day, But with my tax refund and everything, I'm saving it so I can go to Evolution. By the way, this for people out there, Jesse Gann wrote a nice article on how to travel to Evolution on the cheap, and it's really a good article. Take the time to read it. It's on shoryuken.com, and believe it or not, you can get some good deals. Obviously, the best thing is, of course, to take advantage of the discount that the Evolution attendees will get, but also, making sure you don't purchase your ticket the day before, and pay all that money when you can just purchase it weeks or even months in advance and get a good deal. So for the people out there, hold on, someone is asking me something here. Okay, someone's asking about STHD. No, you have not. Yeah, that's one of two questions. Is Akuma banned? I assume he is not banned. You would have said.
Well, we haven't not announced any rules yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're taking a look at it, and people said, Bandai especially, on like day 2, ban them, and we just don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at all the things that people have brought up around Akuma, but keep in mind there's a patch coming out, right?
Right.
And we don't know what's in the patch. Maybe they'll fix Akuma in the patch. So if we had come out like on day 2 and said Akuma's banned, and then the patch comes along and fixes them, and then we say Akuma's unbanned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're kind of flipping around in the wind, right? Which is why we don't make snap judgments. So I'm not going to say whether Akuma is banned or not at this point. You'll know when we announce the official rules in a couple of weeks.
The aspect ratio, or the screens, or the screens that are going to be used, the monitors I guess that's going to be used, are they going to be 4:3, or are they going to be 16? Are they going to be widescreen monitors, or are they take advantage of the 16:9 ratio, or is it going to be, square, 4:3?
Yeah, that's a good question. So all the TVs we have right now are CRTs, of course, and they're 4:3. Mm-hmm. We want to get some widescreens in there, but there's a lot of things we have to do to make that happen. We have to test to make sure there's no lag. We have to figure out what's the right ratio between, widescreen and normal CRTs. So stay tuned. I mean, especially for games like Street Fighter 4 that look way, way better in HD. Mm-hmm. At the very least, we want to have, one HD TV for, the finals. Whether or not we can get more in there, we're trying to figure out.
Okay,
because if you want to be like absolutely prepared for EVO, you should probably get in a little practice on a 4x3 just so you're not shocked when you get there if we can't make it happen.
Right. People understand. CRT is still the most. It's proven. It's a proven platform. It's also cheap.
Yeah. You know what? You can't buy them anymore.
They're out of production now?
CRTs. It's very, very hard to find, a good flat screen CRT TV. Like a lot of the major manufacturers have stopped selling them. Hello? Are you there?
Oh, I'm there. I'm sorry. One question I did have is have you ever thought about contacting Samsung or one of the Sharp or someone to perhaps maybe just like with GameStop and Street Fighter 4 and Evolution, maybe get them to throw in a few there, because they're at least especially with Samsung, because they look like they listen to the community more than the others, because they do have a game mode for a lot of their for their monitors and stuff like that. And you ever thought about maybe trying to see?
Yeah, we tried that. They don't care. We're small fish to them.
Oh.
If you're not talking about millions of eyeballs on their TVs and
Oh.
hundreds of units, they're just it's not worth our time to even investigate this.
Wow. Oh, well. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, well, that's out the window. Let me ask you a question. Has SNK ever, I guess it's SNK Playmore, have they actually contacted you guys about anything about King of Fighters 12? Just because, if you would think, what better venue to demonstrate the game than an Evolution?
Yeah, well, at some point we've talked to everybody. At some point we've had conversations with Namco. Of course, we've talked to Arxis because they were at EVO last year. So, the companies know who we are, and, they're taking a look at us. So, yeah.
Someone wants me to tell, Kai wants me to tell you that your signature is wrong. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Oh, well, he just doesn't know me very well. That's okay.
Okay, randomness here. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Rotendo's here. All right, excellent. Man, I'm trying to think of what if there was to be a message? Is there anything that you would want us to do now that the games are being announced? Was there anything that you want us to do to help make Evolution, this year's Evolution the best yet? Is there anything that you want us to, besides getting the word out? I'm telling everybody,
All right. Yeah, well, something in general is, and this is I think a small minority of people, but stop self-destructive behavior towards the community in general. This GameStop thing is a perfect example, because there was a lot of just spew on the front page of SRK and in the forums about how GameStop doesn't care about gamers, fuck GameStop, all this other stuff, and that's not really helpful, right? Not that we're afraid that some GameStop executive is gonna look at this thread and say what the fuck. That's not what I'm worried about at all. I'm more worried about having people having a little bit broader view beyond EVO 2008 or EVO 2009 or the very next tournament, right? Because we were kind of underground for a while, but Street Fighter 4 takes off, then maybe we won't be so underground, right? So, you can see, GameSpot, I got it right this time, and Kotaku and IGN and these other sites are starting to broadcast, video tournaments. And yeah, there's single elimination tournaments, and they're not what, you know, the ultra hardcore would consider, you know, the best format of a tournament. But, you know, all of their viewers are seeing Street Fighter tournaments as part of their main content. You know, that's a good thing for all of us, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, the next time you're sort of thinking about something, or you see like some kind of event or something, realize that it's maybe not catered for you. It could be, you know, it's marketing, right? And the great thing is that, like, Capcom is behind this marketing, okay? Like, all these things that are going on, it's Capcom directly involved. Okay, when we first put on B3, like, whatever, 11 years ago, we were like, hey, Capcom, you know, we're throwing a tournament. We want, like, you know, we want to hype your game, you know, because people really love your games. You know, get in touch with your fans. Can you help us? And they gave us, like, a bag of keychains, right? Seriously. And then we're like, next year, it's like, hey, Capcom, we're still here, you know, and they gave us, like, you know, a bigger bag of stuff that had, like, the Street Fighter board game, right? Mm-hmm. And for a long time, Capcom just really, at least Capcom USA, didn't care about their fans, right? That's the best way that I can put it. But something happened, like, a couple of years ago, and there was, like, a whole executive shift at Capcom USA. And now, obviously, through things like Capcom Unity and through all these events they're putting on, they care about fans. They care about the Street Fighter community. And they know what FRK is, and they know what EVO is, and they even know about, like, you know, things like these other tournaments that are around the country, and how it relates to SBO. I mean, they're pretty savvy now. They know what's going on. And they're doing things that they see that, like, by helping the fighting game community, they can sell more games by doing things like these promotional events, right? Right. So even though you may not care about those personally, I hope people realize that they're a big part of promoting the game beyond the hardcore and actually growing the hardcore eventually, right? You know, so say, like, pull a number out of my ass, 30,000 gamers playing this tournament. I hope it's even more than that. Say it's 30,000. And say only, like, you know, 1% of those decide to actually say, hey, this is pretty cool. I think I'll actually try to get better at Street Fighter. And hopefully it's better than 1%. Hopefully it's like, you know, 5 or 10%. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a lot of people. That's like, you know, a large fraction of the people that go to EVO in the first place, right? Right. So if you think about it, you know, through this Gamestop tournament, maybe in EVO 2009 we have, I don't know, 500 people in the SF4 tournament, but all these people see it and they get hyped, and maybe next year it's like 1,000 or 1,500, right? Could we do that? I don't know. It's possible. But if we didn't have the tournament in the first place, you know, you never know. Right. So, yeah. So, I mean, you know, just people dial down the hate a little bit when you see something that you personally don't like and think, well, maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's for other people.
Right. Because, you know, I always try to, I mean, I've talked about this, and the people that listen to the radio with any type of frequency would know. I always talk about people that we need to look at the big picture and not looking at I mean, first of all, there's no way that a community can survive just on the hardcore, because the hardcore is such a small number of people. We have a chance to. This is the first legit chance, and I don't know how many years of new blood into the Street Fighter / Capcom community. And I mean, this is the best chance, I think, of us making a good impression, you know, because, you know, one of the ideas I had, I mean, it's too late now probably, but one of the things I was thinking of is having, like, I had a word for it, you know, a scrub tournament. I mean, it's a scrub tournament, whereas random people in the crowd that never played Street Fighter before, you know, will come in and they will, you know, compete, and they'll get a prize and whatnot, and they'll get coached by people that actually do know how to play the game, you know, because the whole point of it is to get people playing the game and feeling the elation of victory, as well as the defeat, you know, because you always want to get better, you know, and when you defeat it, yeah, you feel bad, but that makes you want to work that much harder to win the next time. Because to me, I thought that a lot of the focus on this year's evolution should be not just appealing to the people that always go there year in and year out, but for all the new faces that are going to be there because of the Gamestop tournament and so forth and so on. And we will want to put on the best face possible, make it open to everybody. If anyone wants to learn how to play the game, then someone out will step up and help them. You know, not having the elitist attitude as, oh, you're a scrub, I don't have time for you. I hope that will sincerely be the case at this year. I think hopefully that everyone will actually step back and realize that this is our chance to really grow the community.
Oh yeah, and one thing that I would add is that, and I've actually seen this, which is pretty cool, is when you're playing people online, don't be a dick. And I think people are doing a really good job of this right now, and I just want to call it out because obviously we all know, or maybe most people don't know, but if you play Halo online, it is brutal. The things you'll hear, right? But I played HD Remix online a lot, and people have a good time, and people are most of the time courteous to each other. So I'm not saying go easy on scrubs or anything like that, right? But if you be nice, right? So if you see something that someone's doing and you destroy them, say hey man, good game, but do you want a tip, right? Stop jumping at me. I'm waiting for you to jump at me. I don't know, because I think that's the number of people playing online is going to be 10 or 100 times more the number of people that'll go to these events. And like I said, it's kind of like the gateway drug, right? Where if people can get hooked on competition, it's not going to be everybody, but you get that one guy who has a competitive fire within him, and he plays these games and he sees that there's more to Street Fighter than just throwing fireballs or whatever. That's one more body, and that's one more convert. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of a little bit scared when I first started playing games. I'm like, God, I hope this isn't like Halo.
Right.
But no, I mean, even randoms that I meet who clearly are decent, but don't, they're not scrubs, but they're not they only vaguely know what they're doing. You'll go into a room, it'll be 4 guys, and they're just laughing and having a good time and saying good game, stuff like that. So I don't know why this is. I have no idea why. Maybe players are a little bit older, or maybe, I don't know, it has something to do with people not using guns all the time. It's not a shooting game. I have no idea. But, yeah, the vibe seems to be much better in fighting games online, so we should all try to keep it up.
I was thinking though, I'm sure it's already been done, but it would be nice to have some type of an organized community within the community, if you will, on the online, especially for the Xbox 360 version, because with the PlayStation 3 version, you have to have a Bluetooth headset. Well, the PlayStation, on the Xbox 360, you just need a generic headset with a generic 3.5-inch plug-in, And I was thinking it would be pretty cool because if you get people, there are going to be so many people on day 1 through day 20, actually. They're going to be playing this game. And I think it will actually help us. You'd be surprised on what word of mouth can do. If we go out and we play people, especially for those of us who played the game already at the arcade, and we're decent at it, and we tell them, okay, man, just like you said, give them helpful tips. Tell them why they're losing, but then tell them, you know what? There's a site called SRK. Hey, would you, if you go there, there's this, you'll see all the lists on high-level play, or you'll see tips on how to play your character, If you do that for every person you play and that are willing to listen, you'd be surprised if all of us do that, how quickly we can grow the community. Because there's no better advertisement than the word of mouth. There have been billion-dollar ventures that have started with word of mouth. So it can be done, and I think that if we are serious about having new blood in the community and keep the community going, we're going to have to do this. We're going to have new blood, because people for example, what's his name? Darn it! The old man that plays Super Turbo, Mike.
There are lots of them.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
old man. All right,
he's 44 now. So he can't play games like he used to. So we're gonna need somebody that has his ability, and and so you never know. We never know. Justin came out of nowhere, really. I never really heard of Justin before he won his first Marvel tournament. There might be someone who has it. That's another thing I like about the Gamestop tournament. It's sort of fair though. Everyone's on pad. So it's sort of kind of even things out just a little bit. So it's gonna be interesting because Ski was talking about the Ski Sonic. He said there's gonna be some pad warriors, unknown pad warriors, who are gonna come out and possibly dominate. They're not gonna make it all the way through evolution, Well, they're going to be people. They're going to make it out of there like, who the heck is he? Just because they're pad warriors, they don't participate in tournaments and everything, but they know how to do the moves on pad a whole lot better than we do, us being accustomed to sticks, and they're going to, do well, and who knows, those are the type of people that might be converted and, and become a hardcore player. We'll see.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the thing that's got me interested about SF4 is that it seems to have some community features built in. I mean, Capcom Unity had a post about this, and the description wasn't that great, so I'm not sure what it is, but there's like this championship mode where you can, I don't know, if you have the championship mode, you go to like another whole ranking system for just the championship players, and you can like upload replays and stuff like that. So, I don't know, I mean, there's a lot more in there besides quarter match, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, because I saw the pictures of the ranking, and then, oh man, I am really, really impressed. I'm really, really impressed with with the work that's gone into this game. I actually cannot wait to play it. This is one of the reasons why I bought this monitor. I don't have a TV. For most people who don't know, I don't have a TV. I have a 26-inch Samsung 1080p monitor, and it's great, And I also have a PlayStation 3, watching Blu-ray movies in HD. And let me tell you something: you have not seen HD until you watch The Dark Knight in 1080p. All right, when you watch Dark Knight in 1080p, then you will understand what it means to, But anyway. I cannot wait. The game looks wonderful, and, I think I am so happy. I am so happy, not just about Street Fighter 4 and for Evolution. It's because this looked like, I thought last year, this year it looked like to be the year for fighting gamers. There's a lot of stuff on the horizon for us fighting gamers. I still think that we're living in the dream world. Just 2 years ago, we had nothing to look forward to, and as far as the games are concerned. In 2 years, a lot has happened. We got Street Fighter 4, we got HDR, we got Blaze Blue, and we got, all these other games. And then there's talk about Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which, people say, well, that's never going to happen. But then you got one of the not Capcom, but the Marvel execs who stated on 2 different occasions that, he was pretty pleased with what Capcom did when they had the license to Marvel. To me, that leads me to believe that at some point we're going to get a sequel. Either a direct sequel or just sequel in a way that's done as far as Marvel's concerned. I'm still holding out for a possible Marvel versus DC. Who knows? After Street Fighter 4, I believe anything is possible.
Yeah, we'll see. If Street Fighter 4 sells, 1.5 million copies, you can bet your ass there's going to be something following onto it, right?
Right.
So, buy the game. Don't wait for the PC version and then torrent it, like I've heard some people doing. That's just stupid.
No.
Just buy the game.
This is the wrong game. Really, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I can give two shits whether or not you pirated Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I really can't care less. But on this game, Street Fighter 4, this is just not the time. You want to support the community. You got what you wanted. People are always bitching and moaning about Street Fighter 4 for the last 10 years. You got it now. Now let's show what you got. Show your support. Go buy the game. Tell everybody, tell all your friends about it. Buy 2. If you one of the people that are doing well for yourselves, buy 2. Then give a copy to a friend. Just do what you can to help the community because you're helping yourself out too. Right? If Capcom sells a 1.5 million copies of this game, then obviously we're going to see Street Fighter 4 Second Impact somewhere down the line, or Street Fighter 5. Who knows? But not only that, we're going to see more Street Fighter related games. People are always wondering if there's going to be a CVS 3. Ono said that he thought about it. So, here we go again. If you just got to remember, people, that it is still a business, and and if we make the business work, then we're going to get the things that we want. But it takes work on both sides. They made the game. Now it's time for us to put up. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Same for Evolution. If you can come, if it's 1 year to come to Evolution, it has to be this year. If you've never been to Evolution before in your life, which I am one of the people. I have never been to Evolution in my life, and I do want to go. And it's always stuff getting in the way, though. But this year, I might be lucky, thanks to some old man hitting my car in the parking lot. So the insurance company gave me $600. And, yeah, I have a broken bumper, but, I mean, I'm putting that in the bank. And that might give me the opportunity to go to Evolution. And, I mean, and I would love to, of course, do a radio show from there. I mean, that would just be off the chain, you know. I'm not good at commentating. Don't look at me doing any commentating on any games now. That's not my style. I'll be like, round one goes to the back guy. I mean, that's going to be from me, you know. Don't look to me doing any type of commentary. I'll do the interviews and stuff. But, yeah, I am going. But barring any unforeseen occurrences, I am going. So, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, there are a lot of interesting events this year. I mean, Street Fighter 4 is going to be very interesting because Justin seems to be very focused on that game. He even dropped out of the HD exhibition saying HD is not Street Fighter 4, so someone else can play. So he's obviously gotten into Street Fighter 4. Alex Vai has been talking a little bit. He's focused on that game a lot. And, of course, they've been playing that game like mad, both in New York and in L.A. They have big head starts on the rest of the country. And then the HD Remix Exhibition is going to be pretty good, I think, because it's got, every area of the country represented. So, if there was ever an event to determine, who has the best kind of old school players now refreshed with HD Remix, this is it. I mean, you've got both coasts well represented. We've got 3 teams on the West Coast, two teams on the East Coast, and then we got 2 teams in the middle, one in the Southwest and one in the Midwest. And there are a lot of great players that are going to be there that maybe you haven't seen before. A lot of great Midwestern players. Now some of the old guys that you usually associate with, like California, have moved to other places. So that's going to be an interesting twist, right? And then this will be the first time to see, like, really high-level Tatsunoko versus Capcom play. Mm-hmm. Well, it won't be the first time. You can see it in the other regional tournaments, but, on a bigger stage. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. It's not going to be like maybe the past EVOs where there was 1 or 2 events that you were really looking forward to, and the rest was like, it's good, but, it was only all right. Here it's like, tournament after tournament, every one is going to be, like, pretty hype, I think. In fact, kind of like the events that I'm looking forward to the least, which is not to say I'm not looking forward to them. I'm looking forward to everything. Are the ones that I used to be looking forward to the most, like Marvel. Marvel's going to be great. It's always great. But, if I had to pick between, I can only watch one thing, like Marvel or like Street Fighter 4, it's Street Fighter 4 and no contest.
Right.
So, yeah, it's like flipping the whole thing around. The thing, it's going to be like really, really exciting. And I have no idea what's going to happen in Street Fighter 4. I mean, forget about Japan for a second because they're always a wild card. Between like, hardcore New York players who got the game before anyone in the U.S., only by like a couple of weeks, but still, they got it before anyone. And the L.A. players, okay, now here's the other wild card, is console's going to come out, and there are new characters, which none of these guys have played against, right? Mm-hmm. Are you going to see like some top player pick up like Sakura and do like crazy shit that's no one's seen before? It's kind of what I call the Julian Beasley effect, right?
I talked to him last night at Rebby's. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, okay. So Julian's strategy, it wasn't always this, but he had a consistent strategy of he would find a character who was like good and that no one else would pick because he would have an intrinsic advantage because he would have, he would know more about the fight than the other guy, right? And you saw him do this, or I saw him do it, in A3 with Sodom, right? Where he had it down to a science, where he would know the exact frame advantages on the 3 different kind of rush punches that Sodom had. And he could bait you and do one where, like, he really didn't have advantage, and then he'd do another one where he did have advantage and, like, stuff your counterattack or something. But just, I mean, so that's a real factor the first year that a game is out, right? So, I mean, tons of wild cards, tons of, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be great.
I mean, I could tell you one thing that I know about Street Fighter 4. I won't be winning it. But, but at the same time, though, You're right. I don't know what is going to happen. It's really I can make a guess that in the top 8 there's going to be a substantial that might be East Coast players just because of the fact that they played the game for so long and they got a good head start on us. But that is not necessarily because it's still Street Fighter, so it's not learning a game from the ground up. You just got to. So it's debatable on how much of an advantage that someone who has played the game at the arcades have. Because if you play Street Fighter and you're great at it, then it shouldn't be too hard. They made that intentionally for Street Fighter 4, where if you played any other Street Fighter game, you should be able to jump into Street Fighter 4 without much fuss. And then you just got to learn the nuances of Street Fighter 4, the focus attacks and the dash cancels and all of that stuff and the ultras. And if you learn that part of it, then you can make up for the lack of time that you have with the game versus someone who's had it since the arcade version was released.
I don't know about that. So if you look at vids between the top Japanese players and the top American players, you'll see that. Well, I shouldn't say the tip top, but if you look at random arcade art infinity video and random Japanese Acho video or whatever, I don't know who's broadcasting SF4 videos, you'll see that the Japanese use focus attacks a lot more. They use them kind of like parries. And I can watch, really good matches between American players, and you really don't see focus attacks that much at all. And I think it's a mindset issue where you just have to get. The thing about the arcade environment, especially here, is that they've only got 1 or 2 machines. There's it's survive or be devoured immediately. So there's not a whole lot of time to play and just kind of mess around. So I think that you'll see, I hope at least, you'll see the evolution of the game pick up a lot once the console version's out, and someone can sit, at home and, not only get that combo down, pat and find, new combos or new opportunities off of random counter hits or whatever. But I think you'll also see people get a little bit more creative because they can just, play for free at home for hours and hours and hours and just try shit. So we'll see. That's another reason why I'm glad that, in general, why I'm sort of glad that we moved on to console.
By the way, you know what? I had to tap my hat off to you. That was one of the things I did notice also when watching the Japanese tournament videos. They use focus attacks like parries and stuff, and it really changes the game. But it's not to the point of third strike where, since the parries are so good, you can't really play offense. You got to wait until someone else moves. It's not like that bad, but. If people have to watch out for those little focus attack parries because, you can wind up eating a big combo or, losing a match because a lot of people are thinking in the terms of just Street Fighter 2 type gameplay where, all they can do is counterattack or block. But, that's not exactly true in Street Fighter 4. And there's a lot more of a nuances there that, I agree with you there. That's one of the reasons why they got me into Street Fighter 4. When I first saw Street Fighter 4, I wasn't impressed. That's because there was a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing. But now, that I see what people are doing with the game, it's actually pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. And I think that's why you haven't seen a lot of focus attacks in the match, at least in many of the match vids that I've seen in the U.S., is because, like you said, there's got some subtlety to it. And it's not like a parry where if you get the parry, 99 times out of 100, you're at the advantage, or at least you haven't lost the advantage. If you focus attack at the wrong time, you could be shooting yourself in the foot, right? So no shit when you're in a win at all cost situation, you're not going to be throwing these out, willy nilly. Even if you think, maybe now's a good time to focus, there's some negative reinforcement going on there until you really learn the system. So, I don't know. I'm actually surprised by that. I didn't think that it would be able to have that level of, depth in something so simple. Hit two buttons and let it go, and it's kind of an auto attack.
Was you like me and thought that was? I'm being honest with you. Did you think it was stupid when you first saw it? Remember the first videos that Ono showed the focus? Did you think, what the hell was he thinking when he first saw it?
I didn't think it was stupid, but I thought it was kind of just a token thing. It's whatever. Because there's been attacks like that for a long time, where it's Cammy has one in Marvel, and there are lots of them where you go into a pose, and then if you get attacked, you you counterattack,
Mm-hmm.
right? In the past, those have been just like stupid gimmicks. No one uses them, right? And I kind of thought the focus attack was maybe a little bit like that. I mean, yeah, you could let it go if you wanted to, but that didn't seem like a big distinction. But yeah, I was totally wrong. There does seem to be a lot to it. You know, I'm not saying it's the whole game or anything like that, but it's, you know, it seems to be a reasonable, a fully integrated tactic in the game. It's not something that they just sort of threw onto the side so that they can have a new system.
Yeah, because I like the fact that the focus attack and everything that goes with it. It makes the game a lot balanced, because when I'm watching high level play, especially in the Japanese tournaments, there's a great balance of defensive and offensive posturing and footsies. Footsies are back, you know, and everything. And I mean, but it's not totally defensive like third strike where you're just waiting for the other person to attack. You know, it's nothing like that. I like how it actually been fleshed out. Ono's a genius as far as I can tell, because I mean I never thought that would happen. You know, I mean, then again, I don't make games for a living, so I need to shut the fuck up. So, but you know, I didn't think all that was going to come out of it. But you know, after watching in high level play, I'm like, man, that dude know what he was really talking about. Now it makes me excited what he wants to do, because if I remember correctly, he said that he couldn't put everything that he wanted into this version of Street Fighter 4, so you know, who knows what we'll see for the subsequent versions. But man, hats off to him.
Yeah, it's growing on me. I mean, even things that just have bothered me for a while about that game, I'm starting to notice less, like the jumps that go too high and not far enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first time when I saw SF4 at EVO 2008, it was like, what? It was just jarring. It's like, Street Fighter jumps aren't like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, now it's like, well, okay, that's just the way it is, and it doesn't bother me anymore. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing the game on console, because of course, the only chance I would get to play here is San Jose State's arcade, and that's like way too long a drive. So.
Really? I mean, what is the closest arcade? Is that the closest arcade from your home?
No. Sunnyvale Golfland is the closest arcade to my home, but they did not get SF4, and they made it clear that they are not going to get it.
What?
Yeah, that place is kind of dead now. I mean, everyone goes to Keystone.
Wow.
Which is a much better arcade.
Wow.
And free. Just bring beer.
I didn't know that. Wow. So don't go to SHEL because they're not going to have it. Oh,
well, I'm not saying anything that people here don't already know and have done it for a while.
By the way, let me try to think. What about the possibility about streaming at least part of the Evolution tournament? You did this 2 years ago. I thought it was great, you know. And what are your feelings about streaming parts of the tournament?
Yeah, we want to do something a little bit more with AV in particular, streaming and other things like that. Especially this year because of the work that Gamestop and these other magazines have done, and especially OneUp.com with their live stream of people just playing SF4. You know, we want to make sure that we do our part. So we're kicking around some ideas. Definitely a live stream would be cool. Maybe there's some other things we can do for people who aren't directly going to EVO, or do better documentation of what happened at EVO. So, even the people that went there, they can come back and look at things. Yeah, that's something that we're really looking at this year in particular.
Excellent. Because we got a chance to do it. Watch it 2 years ago, and even though it wasn't really fleshed out, but it was really fun. Hearing the crowds and then the commentator, of course, and everything. It was really pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, actually, the funny part is, that kind of thing, the live stream is the easiest thing to set up. I mean, as long as you have broadband, you're pretty. It's just a matter of paying for it.
Right.
Some of the other things that we would maybe want to do, you've seen James Chan's awesome trailers, right? His EVO trailers where he's got, the match videos mixed in with shots of the crowd and things like that. And then he always has his Flickr account that has 500 pictures of the event.
Right.
But that stuff comes out a week after the event or a month after the event. We're trying to figure out ways where we could have that stuff, a little bit quicker, or maybe, like a really simple example would be, can we live blog EVO on SRK, right? So you just have kind of a running commentary, text commentary, of course, live blogging, of what's going on in EVO. Like, we're starting the SF4 tournament, or big upset in SF4, or so-and-so beat so-and-so, and then show pictures or something like that. So, we're kicking around ideas right now, but we definitely want to make it, more interactive for people who are stuck at home. But that's not an excuse to stay home. Go to EVO.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, people, it's just like baseball. No, because baseball is not really fun to watch. Evolution is fun to watch. But when you actually go to a game, it's a totally different atmosphere. It's one thing to be watching it alone and sitting in your lazy chair. It's another thing being there and standing there shoulder to shoulder with people. They got the same interests that you do, and cheering people on, seeing the people that you only heard about. You see them in real life playing, in clutch situations. I mean, you can't beat that type of experience. There's a lot of people that paid a lot more money for going to the Super Bowl, which the ending was a piece of shit. But the money is better spent going to Evolution, because the right person will win. We'll know that. The right person will win. There won't be any referees that be throwing the yellow flag when someone pulls off a move or something. We don't have to worry about that. No refs, nothing like that. It's just people playing games, winner takes all, as it should be, So if you could spend $2,000 to go to the damn Super Bowl, you could spend about probably a fourth of that and go to Evolution.
It'll be a lot of fun. You're in Vegas. What could go wrong?
That's why you go in Vegas.
Yeah.
By the way, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, by the way. I just want to let you people know that.
There you go.
Let me see here. Actually, hold on. Let me get Rotendo, I think, wants to come on. By the way, if you guys, anybody out there that got any questions, you guys did a great job of throwing me questions to inkblot. If you have any more questions, you want me to ask them, now's the time. Before you ask it, yes, it's as far as I'm happy that Marvel's back too. As far as the console is to be announced. That's all can really be said. So.
What? Yeah, TBA means to be announced.
Yeah. So, let's see. I mean, anyone can get on now. I mean, I guess I didn't do a good job of introducing you. But for people that don't know, wow. This is
hour and a half later.
This is inkblot, aka Tom Cannon, aka inkblot. He is the co-founder of SRK, as well as the tournament director for the Evolution series. Does that about cover it?
Sure.
Okay. He's also the top man to be Obama's admin. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Game secretary.
Man, that's what I mean, like I said, if I be the president of the United States, I would make it. Evolution will replace the Super Bowl. It's like, I don't care who won the NFC. And so it'll be like, it's like, Justin Wong, you're going to be seeing Justin Wong T-shirts, shorts, bikinis, shoes, everything.
What was that right before shoes?
Huh?
Did you say bikini?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with bikinis? I mean, what's wrong with Justin Wong bikinis?
Oh. You mean like Justin's face on a bikini, not Justin in a bikini.
No, right. Oh, no.
Yeah,
No. Oh, no.
Not right.
Oh, man. Yeah, let me clear that up. I meant the name. Justin Wong's name being everywhere. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, man, that's bad. That's bad. Okay, here we go. what's going on, man?
Does this shit work? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sweet. What's up?
Not much. Not much.
Go on. I don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, what do you think of what was said so far?
Everything sounds amazing. EVO sounds amazing. It's always amazing, but it's going to be extra amazing. So, I already bought my plane ticket.
You already blocked. Here we
Yeah,
go. There we go, folks.
Dude,
a good
gas
example.
prices are down. You got to buy that shit early.
That's true. That's true. Gas prices are cheaper in the winter. So yeah, I mean, hey, take Keits' advice and buy it now. Buy it now while the gas is cheap.
It's a bad time to buy a plane ticket just because I know this month a lot of us are going to be spending an absurd amount of money on sticks in Street Fighter 4. And I'm sure there are some people who haven't even bought a console to play it on yet who are going to be dropping a few hundred on that too. But next month, definitely get your tickets.
Well, I'm just waiting for the reservations and everything, and I'm going to go ahead and get that out the way, and I should have that week off. So, okay. Maybe people don't understand this. I have inkblot on the radio, not Ponder. So, people are talking about GGPO. That's Ponder's project. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're twins. That's why it's hard.
I mean, I understand that, you think they're, since they're brothers, they have telepathy and all of that, and they can read each other's thoughts, but they haven't perfected that yet. So, sorry. No, Ink is still here.
My girlfriend has a twin sister, and when I give her orgasms, the twin has orgasms too. They're called twingasms. It's very interesting.
No comment.
I'm a virgin.
I
don't know things like that.
So I just wanted to tell something for everybody on the radio. Last night, me and Mr. Wizard and Daniel RGT, we were playing Catan, and we managed to convince Daniel that EVO was also an STD, and he actually went and Googled it because he thought it was real.
Oh, no. People.
I want to let you all know.
GGPO at Evolution? What?
What does that even mean? GGPO is an online service. It's everywhere. Anywhere you can get the internet, you can get GGPO.
Ink knows all about GGPO. If people say Marvel on GGPO, okay, people, this is inkblot, not Ponder. All right, man, I guess it takes repeating. I am not addressing that question. We don't need to go into the orgasm. This is not After Hours AlphaISM Radio. That has to be another night.
Why do you have to dirty up the podcast?
Huh?
Or the radio show? Why do you have to dirty up the radio show, man? we went from a PG rating to an R rating in like 15 seconds flat.
See, this time it wasn't my fault. See, usually it's my fault.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
Usually it's my fault because of my dirty ass mind, but that was purely started by other people. I excuse
don't think the word
myself.
orgasms are rated though.
I'm telling your girlfriend too. She's not gonna like
That's
that.
fine.
I mean, I'm just I'm trying to keep it because I know there might be some young kids listening and they'll never hear anything like this at school. So why should I say it here on the radio? Yeah.
Go to bed, kids.
Yeah, it's late, man. Well, it is where I am, anyway.
Okay, Evil Land 2009. What? Okay, Third Strike, Vampire Savior, Championship Edition, Alpha 2, Alpha 3 ST, Evolution Land 2009. I don't think so. Oh, by the way,
that looks like a reject list.
Wow. Okay. By the way, I need your support behind this. I'm starting something called a poverty series. Of instead of money matches, we're gonna have food matches. All right. So I have with Amperature there in the channel. We have first to 10. The winner gets a Kraft Deluxe box of macaroni and cheese.
I thought you were going to play for Kansas Soup.
We was going to do soup, and then we raised it up to Kraft Macaroni Deluxe, not the powder shit. Macaroni and cheese.
I think it's a
Really?
poverty series. You really got to have something with some nutritional value in there.
What are you talking
Hungry
about?
Man dinners.
I kind of like the soup idea. Canned soup. 'Cause
Hey man,
you
chunky
need-
potato,
you need the money
potato
back.
and chowder.
Man, that shit is
there you go.
fake. No. Okay, we could play for Campbell's Chunky Soup, steak and potatoes.
Now, did I call in at just like the right time exactly?
Actually, you did.
As you were starting to talk about?
Yeah.
Or did, okay.
By the way, I just want to reiterate something. That I am taking all comers in Street Fighter 4. If you want to do a poverty match,
You're
damn
taking
it,
all
I'm going to
comers
do a
who
poverty match
own
with
the
you.
PS3.
Huh?
You're taking all comers that own a PS3.
Yeah, go buy the better console.
Bullshit.
Define better. Define better.
But okay, let me give you a great example why PlayStation 3 is a better console. Right now I'm looking at my
It has to
PlayStation.
involve games. It has to involve games.
Okay. Right now I'm looking at my PlayStation 3. It has a red light on it, but the red light is intentional. It doesn't mean that the console's fucked
My
up.
Xbox 360 has a green light on it.
Okay. It was green light and then a red light and then you fucked.
I
Mine
have it,
is
yeah.
red light and it's not fucked. Hence why I have the PlayStation 3. And also has something called Blu-ray. It's actually pretty damn cool.
Is Blu-ray a disc or a player?
It's a disc. It's a
both,
disc
actually.
It's replacing the DVD, but
Yeah, I'm being facetious.
like both. I stutter. Discs are going to be phased out anyway. Digital distribution is going to be the way to go. So you're still not
In
convinced.
20 years.
Says Bill Gates.
Yeah, and Bill Gates is a real dumbass, huh?
Hey, I paid $300 for my Xbox, for my PlayStation 3. What are you talking about? Someone was talking about make the PlayStation 3 $300 and they'll buy it. I bought mine for $300.
Really? Where?
It was on.
Because I consider it.
No, I was
Is that
on
right?
Amazon.com actually.
Amazon. Was it used?
Yeah, slightly used. No
Okay.
scratches or anything on it. It looks.
I guess
it looks
kind of on
brand new.
topic with the console debate thing. I wrote an article a while ago about it. I've seen the topic resurfacing recently. If anybody's listening and doesn't know which system that most tournaments are going to use, it's really an issue of availability, not of preference. A lot of tournaments don't own their own equipment. So you could go to a random tournament within a few hours from you, and they'd have PS3s, and go to another one next week, and they have 360s. So it would be smart if you have the extra money to own controllers or sticks for both.
I'm just going to ask you a
But that's
question.
controllers and sticks for both.
That's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about. is
You
can
know,
play
so, but see, there's
But
more to that,
tournaments,
though. There's
you
more to
prepare.
that because, if you go to a console, if you go to a tournament that have Xbox 360 consoles, just let you know that, you might be playing in the finals and the Xbox 360 will catch on fire. All right? So, I'm just keep that in mind.
That's an exaggeration.
Exaggeration, I'm sorry, burn
Exaggeration.
up. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wait till the Jasper unit becomes the main unit of Xbox 360, and all the old units have been red ringed, and now all that's left is Jaspers that won't red ring.
Okay. Well, by that time that happens, it'd be time for the Xbox 720 or whatever, and it'd been too late.
All right. I will tell you this though, I only bought my Xbox 360. I only bought a console for Street Fighter because I wanted to get into this community.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You bought the wrong console, but for the right reason. I like
You
that.
got the right one. All the good players are on 360.
That bullshit.
Yeah. But and I'll tell you another reason. I even talk with Serlin, and I play with Serlin every once in a while because I'm big in the Serlin.net community. Even Serlin is saying like the PS3 is not really the right console for fighting games because their back end for the online is just terrible. And even he says that, and I believe a developer on the consoles would have the more knowledgeable opinion.
I'm just letting you know I'm editing that bit out of the final radio podcast.
Really? Because Serlin told me personally that the back end for PSN was just terrible, and that's probably why the netcode for PlayStation HD Remix is pretty bad. All right, I'm just saying. Serlin told me.
All I know though is on a serious note that there have been. I've been talking with PS3 users, and they have played online in other games, and they're all fine.
Really?
They're all. I haven't heard a big.
Exception.
I haven't heard a big hoopla about other online games. Only remixes we have a problem with the online aspect. They play other games online. They haven't had any issues.
You know what I bet it is? I bet though that it's because like 90% of the games on PSN that you play on PSN are
shooters.
Yeah, shooters.
Shooters and racers.
And because no, seriously, shooters and shooters that are using the dedicated server model that's carried over from the PC. Because with Xbox 360, it's all P2P, and with shooters on PS3, it's dedicated server just like PC. But with HD Remix on PS3, it's P2P just like Xbox 360. So I'm willing to bet that that's one of the major causes of the problem, because it's such a foreign thing to the PS3 backend.
Oh, okay. So
tournaments, that's all live, but for online,
yeah, offline, LAN, anything goes. I mean, pick whatever console you want. People will find sticks to play.
So either I have a bad back end for online support, or I have a console that burns up in front of my eyes.
You're so full of shit.
If you don't have a Jasper 360.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the store and rip open the box while the security's handcuffing me, because after I'm a Negro, so I would still open the box. That's automatically a felony. You know, so huh?
Like the race car on himself.
Yeah, I mean that is true.
just see if the box, just see on the box if it says HDMI support. There's your Jaspers.
I don't think that will work.
The boxes should say HDMI support on it, and that's the Jasper unit.
Well, what are you talking about? The previous units had HDMI support too.
No, not until the Jasper. Yeah. The default Xbox 360 did not have HDMI support. It was either component or composite. That was it.
Was Ink trying to say something?
I don't know.
I was disagreeing with you, but
disagreeing with me.
I don't think it matters a lot. Yeah, I don't think it matters.
But
but before after the next bunch of DOA, even old ones during the tournament are pretty low. And if they do, well, so what? It goes DOA, you get another one, and you replay. How many times did Dreamcast go DOA in the last 3 EVOs combined?
That happened with Dreamcast.
Yeah, I'll agree with you that it doesn't really matter as far as the large scope of things, but I did want to come in here and trash talk Bunkai because we had to cancel our mac and cheese match.
No, you had to cancel it because you bought the wrong console.
I bought the wrong console. We still have yet to decide who actually bought the wrong console.
I bought the best console out on the market.
I'm sure you did.
You're so delusional.
I am not delusional.
You're so delusional. You're like in your own little world.
I am not in my own little world. I bought the best console, and now
best in terms of what? Certainly not sales.
Here's the problem, though. Here's the biggest problem, though. Is that we all own consoles at all. I mean, it's all on PC. It should all be on PC. I mean, the best shooters, the best RTS are all on PC, and it's just a matter of time before the console.
There's some huge advantages to the console, though, as well. So.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to be said as a developer for programming something for one piece of hardware that's the same everywhere, as opposed to programming it for infinite number of configurations.
Yeah. I see that.
Ooh, echo. No,
for a consumer, being able to take a game home, slap it in, and know it looks exactly the same on your machine as it does your neighbor's. Whereas on a PC, if it works at all for you, it might not look as good as your neighbor's PC or whatever. There's just, PC is great for a lot of things. I play a lot of PC games, but there are certainly advantages to console, and it's not going away.
But the one advantage to PC that I'll say up front right now that I don't think I'll ever be able to give up entirely for a console is keyboard and mouse. I cannot play on a
first-person shooters I can't either.
Yeah, Halo. I tried Halo like once or twice. I was like, fuck this shit. I can't do it.
No, that game aims for you anyway, so you're just trying too hard. You just kind of put it near the opponent and start shooting, and they're dead.
Yeah, and then not only because of the auto aim, you've got why are we even talking about Halo and FPS? Is this a Street Fighter show?
I mean, I'm about to go make some Kool-Aid.
The host just walks away from the show randomly.
I'm
Because-
sorry. Hey,
because
I'll be honest with you. When I walked away from the radio with Inkblot, I was going to ask him a question, and I was going to try to take a piss before he finishes answering the question. And he finishes the question in one sentence, which I wasn't expecting. So I'm sitting up there, taking the lead, and he's going, hello, hello. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm trying to...
It's funny. We heard you in the background, too, all quiet. You're like, I'm coming.
we thought. Well, I'll tell you what we thought. We thought most of the listeners were thinking in the channel that you thought that you had just walked away from the show after hearing that CRTs aren't in production anymore.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
We thought it was too traumatizing for you.
No.
I'm actually really intimidated at the prospect of trying to buy a HD TV for myself because I'm so worried about lag.
Buy a computer monitor with an HDMI input.
Okay.
That might solve your problem. I don't think. Was it ever solved that actual computer monitors with LCD don't have that lag that you guys are talking about? Because the Quake players are dealing with that too. We don't like the LCDs that are out, but mostly because none of them can push 120 hertz, which is what Quake runs on, 120 frames a second.
Fuck if I know, man.
I don't know, man. I just work here.
I'm apparently talking too much. I guess I should hang up. I'm taking up too much airtime.
Yeah, you owe me $20.
Wait a minute. What kind of line is this?
I mean, that's a 1-900 number you're calling into.
It's not Skype.
It's Skype, but it has a 1-900 number, so it's like $3.95 a minute.
All right.
No, I'm just
Well, whatever. I'll earn the money back whenever you buy a 360.
No.
and we play that money back.
No. Here we go. I'm letting you know. Right now, it's okay. Not everyone is perfect, even not me. I mean, you bought the wrong console. I can forgive you for that. All right.
Is this what you tell yourself in the mirror every night?
No, this is what I tell myself after I watch Dark Knight on Blu-ray. And I just smile. By the way, let me ask you this is let's add up the cost right quick if I buy the Xbox 360. So I buy Xbox 360, $200. New hard drive, $30. Since there's no good converters,
I don't need a hard drive.
Well, I want a hard drive, obviously. So $30, $230. Okay. Now I don't. There's no good converters out for Xbox 360 yet. So I have to buy the new Terminal Edition stick. That's $150. I'm already up to $380 now.
Or you can do what I'm planning to do and buy the 360 Tournament Edition stick in the first place and then putting a Cthulhu in the damn thing.
You did do what?
Or you can do what I'm planning to do and buying the 360 Tournament Edition stick in the first place and then putting a Cthulhu board in the thing.
There you go.
Okay.
You
Now
gotta have
you're
a stick that's
assuming
gonna work on
that
both
people
systems. You gotta be
are
prepared.
you're assuming that people know how to do something. All you got to do is just put a board in it. Okay, motherfucker. Okay, so if I buy a car and the car don't have an engine in it, just put an engine in it. It'll run just fine. Okay, I mean, not everybody is mechanically inclined. I mean, you can be just saying, just put a board in it, it'll work perfectly. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm Cliff Huxtable when it comes to anything regarding repair.
The Jello pudding.
Okay, then.
Stutters?
Okay, then have you considered buying the regular fight stick and putting Sanwa or Seimitsu parts in it?
Okay, did you hear my last statement? When it comes to,
do you know how easy it is? You know how easy it is to swap.
Do you know how easy it is for me to fuck up something? How easy it is?
He couldn't even beat my exism Chun-Li, so he probably can't change the buttons.
Yeah. I am not a fanboy.
Dude, you would be perfect for watching Epileptic Gaming, the other show that I watch religiously, with DJ Wheat. The guy is major into competitive gaming, loves fighting games, and loves the PS3. You guys would get along great. Just letting you know.
DJ Wheat. Oh, that's not Will Wheaton. No, that's the guy who wrote that EVO trash article, isn't it?
Oh.
From
Championship Gaming
Oh.
series.
That article is classic.
And he wrote that article, and then 6 months later, his league went out of business.
That's funny. That's irony.
Yeah.
Wait, what? There was an article written by DJ Wheat, and he was working for CGS, where I don't think I didn't read it as trashing EVO though. Like he said there were certainly things that could be done better, and I'd agree that there are things that EVO could do better from a spectator and maybe a commentator standpoint. I mean,
sure. The overall tone of the thing was like, these guys are like, they run their nice little thing, but they should learn how the big boys do it, which I thought was a little insulting.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I read it.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. By the way,
especially given that like his format basically, well, forget it. This is a whole other topic.
No, that's fine. Okay, I mean, whoever brought up that topic about the article, go ahead and bury yourself. I'm gonna make some Kool-Aid, and I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
No, but like I've been a champion of saying within at least Quake and the FPS community, or not, I say the deathmatch FPS community, that we, the Quake players, share a lot more in common with the Street Fighter community than maybe any other competitive gaming community that's out there at all. And there are a lot of things that the Quake community can learn from Street Fighter and the fighting games, and there are a lot of things that maybe the fighting gamers could learn from Quakers. Because,
you
like,
mean people who play Quake, right? Not Quakers.
Say what?
Quakers are the guys with like the hats and the.
Yeah, he makes the oats.
Yeah, like the
That's
guy
what
in the oat box, Quaker.
Yeah. Semantics, but. The Quake players have a lot to learn from fighting game players, in my opinion, and that's why I'm trying to get involved with the AGP tour, which is trying to become, the next big. We're trying to raise back the Quake community, and I've been a champion of taking various elements that I think are done really right in the fighting game community, and I'm also coming over here and I'm trying to, I'm promoting Quake a lot, and that's what I'm saying to you guys. It's like, there are things that we do that I think maybe you should take a look at what we do and how we do things that maybe you could try and improve on at maybe events like EVO or any other fighting game major event. Like I said, and even though the tone may have been bad, there were a lot of things written in the CGS article by I don't know if it was Will Wheaton or DJ Wheat actually, but there was an article written by DJ.
If it was Will Wheaton, I would have paid special attention.
Okay. But I think it was DJ Wheat, real name Marcus Graham, and he said from like a spectator and a commentator standpoint that there was a big problem for like new blood who was showing up. Like there was a big lack of information that he was given, and I hate to sound like I'm trashing on EVO too, EVO and that whole community too, because I love this. I love this place. I love the energy, and I love the support that it's giving itself and how it's sustaining itself on the hardcore when Quake so far has failed to do that. But yeah, like I said, I would love to see certain things improved. And now that I've got inkblot on the phone, I'm just trying to get those ideas out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I didn't disagree with the content of that article. I disagreed with the tone, which I thought was completely over the top and a little bit ridiculous, given that CGS in particular was coming from a mass market viewput, where their whole deal was, let's get something going and
sell to the
try
mainstream.
to get it on cable. Yeah, specifically put it on cable and then sell advertising dollars. And we're trying to do something very, very different. But that doesn't mean that like ideas from both areas don't sort of apply, right?
Certainly.
And it's true that EVO is like, we cater to the tournament players. And then, spectators are welcome, but we don't go out of our way to make things presentable to them. And sure, we can do a better job of that. But
yeah, it's an open tournament, too.
But I think to compare an apple to an orange and then say, look at this crappy little orange, which is basically what the article did, I thought was over the top and unnecessary. And especially sweet that their model basically doesn't work, and it was proven when they went into business. Which is another topic, which I said twice, so now I'll get to that topic, which is that, like esports. To me, esports is a reality in Korea and probably nowhere else on Earth. there's a laundry list of leagues that have gone into business trying to do this mass market thing too quickly, and really out of necessity. But who cares? It's out of necessity, but it's a fact. At EVO, we're trying to take things organically. We're trying to grow it at the rate which is sustainable, so that we can take it sort of one step at a time. And that does mean that we don't get $10 million in funding, and we don't have we don't give away hundreds of thousands of dollars in prize money. But it does mean that we're kind of here year after year after year, right?
And that if
I think
I
Quake has done something very similar, right? Well, you have like QuakeCon, and they go ahead.
Well, see, that's exactly one of the things that I'm championing the return of, because over the years, the Quake community has become so reliant on the money, the funding, the money, and that's one of the big things that I'm trying to be a champion of over at where the AGP tour is going on, is that we should really have a return to the roots and try to sustain it from the players, rather than try and just beg sponsors for money, go to NVIDIA and beg sponsors for money to hold events. That we should just hold that. For one thing that I've loved is that from what I understand, at the very least, is that tournaments are essentially run with the aspect of the prize at the very end of the day is X amount of the pot that was created from the entry fee.
You got it.
Yeah, and I think that is just something that we need to return to over in Quake, rather than having a free tournament that's sponsored by whoever, and then they give out the prize money. And what happened with events like CPL and GGL is that at that point, people weren't actually getting their money. And then the players would get jaded and they would stop playing. And then, at least with creating a pot, that the money is there if you want to play for the money, And but what I also want to see more of, that's in Quake, that's happening a lot in fighting games, is just tournaments for the shit of it.
Well, to me, when it comes to Evolution, of course, there's prizes and everything like that, but in my mind, that's really almost secondary now. A lot of the people come to Evolution because of one or two things. First of all, for the overall experience and the atmosphere,
and that's what I'm championing in like the AGP tour. I want to be able to create. I want the AGP tour to be able to create hype by its own merit, not by its prize pool, which is what the whole deathmatch community has become jaded towards.
But even more than that, the second reason would be just because there's a lot of top players who only see each other at Evolution. There are top players that are great friends but live on the opposite sides of the country, and and the Evolution is the one time of the year they actually get a chance to meet. I would say this: if it wasn't for the grassroots of Evolution, and I think that it would have a lot smaller of a turnout. Because the money, it's good to play for the money and everything, but to me, at least in my mind, even if I was a top gamer, I really don't think about what money I can win when I go down Evolution. I'm going down there to see who I can meet, of course, visit, see what Las Vegas is about, even though I don't need to do that. I've lived there for 8 months, horrible. But, I'm going there down for the experience. This is the tournament, the fighting game tournament of the year, and, so like the Super Bowl, you go there, for the experience, not so much because, the game is part of it, but it's also about the whole package deal.
Of course, and that's what I want. And I don't know how many times I've repeated it, but that's exactly what I want to see in the Quake community. Let it not be about the money anymore. Let it be people who are showing up like Cooler facing CZM, and I don't know if you guys have heard of those players, but Cooler and CZM probably the smartest players. One from Russia, one is I think has a mathematics degree from Princeton, and have that epic matchup. And from what I understand, Cooler and CZM are actually pretty good friends, and maybe like Avic and Cypher showing up, and meeting other people like from your friends from other countries who you happen to play Quake with, and I would love to see that. If that could happen at this point with the players becoming jaded towards the money.
If I could switch subjects just for a second.
Okay.
Just based on what I'm seeing in the channel, I fully endorse Marvel being in this year's Evolution tournament for one big reason. It's the fact that there have been so many movies out with the Marvel characters in it.
Oh my God!
The Marvel license getting out to big movie directors, yeah.
Well, not even that, but Marvel's perfect though because okay, there's another X-Men sequel coming out this year. Iron Man came out last year. And the Hulk comes out. What I'm saying is, it's also, I think that it would be cool because even though that Marvel may seem dated to a lot of people because, it's been out on console for 8 years or whatever, but I still think it's pretty, I think that the game deserves to be an evolution because I think there's a lot of people who have seen the movies, have never seen the game, and if they see the game and go like, wow, I didn't know they made a crossover game where you can play Ryu and Ken, but also can play Magneto and Iron Man. You know what I'm saying?
Certainly.
So I think that I think Marvel deserves to be there because I think there's a tie-in to what is happening in the entertainment industry overall.
Yeah. The only I'll tell you this though, I'm a little bit jaded against Marvel myself because my first
plus it's great for spectatorship. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great for spectators, I'd agree, but my first experience with Marvel and that whole community was watching a Dark Prince video. So
I am so sorry. Believe me, I'm so sorry. And believe me, I'm going to avenge you because remember, I have a money match with Dark Prince. And, and I'll take care of that. This will be in your honor. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll put down $5 on Bunkei.
Thank
or
you.
Bunkei. How do you pronounce that?
It's Bunkei. Ben. Just call me Ben. Just
Ben. All right.
Bunkai, pronounced Ben.
Yeah.
I go by me.
All right. Like if you even said, like if you saw my on the one where he's talking about where he's referencing veterans the entire time, and some sort of 5-on-5 tournament that's supposed to be East Coast versus West Coast, and then like he's standing next to a blue wall. You'll even see a comment by me. It's like, man, this beaver-looking motherfucker looks stupid as hell.
Anyway, I wanted to say...
Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to say earlier, the beauty of EVO to me, and the entire fighting game community, is that the tournaments are open. If you can afford to get to Vegas, which is one of the cheapest places in the entire world to travel, you can enter the tournament. Doesn't matter who you are, what you've accomplished, or what you haven't. You can get there, you can enter the tournament. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I'm still deciding whether I want to go to EVO this year or if I want to go to Quake.
Get off the radio.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
No, hey, I got to decide between EVO and QuakeCon, and I love the two of them, but I can only pick one, man. Yeah, and please don't ostracize me if I pick QuakeCon. Because I love both of you guys. Come on, you can't do this to me.
You know what?
You're doing it yourself.
Hold on. Inkblot is talking.
Oh, Inkblot is talking. QuakeCon is one of the only pro game events that is longer running and older than EVO, and it's older by a good 5 years or something. So you can't fault someone for going to QuakeCon.
But yes, we can.
No. That's like one of the meccas of gaming, grassroots gaming.
No. You understand? This is not Quake Radio.
No,
You know what I mean?
Which is why I've been considering
Come on.
for about 5 minutes now that I should probably hang up because I'm talking about way too much about Quake.
Exactly, because the only Quake I want to hear about is Quaker Oats. That's all I want to hear about is Quaker Oats.
Let's be honest. If you play Quake and you have to choose between QuakeCon and EVO, I want you to go to EVO. But if you go to QuakeCon, I understand.
No, I'm gonna shoot him.
That's like if you're my cousin.
He's making the politician answer.
No, it's just reality. If you're my cousin and I want you to come to my wedding, but your wedding is on the same day or your brother's wedding is on the same day, you're gonna go to that wedding, and I'm not gonna like it, but I'm not gonna disown you for it, right? It's just reality.
No, just brutally harm. Shit, man. Come on, man. This is about Evolution 2009, Amp, did you read the fucking topic? It said Evolution 2009.
I came
Not
on this radio to
QuakeCon. I
talk
can
about
give a
Evo
rat's
and the
ass
Outdoor
about
Space.
QuakeCon. QuakeCon can eat my QuakeCon. All right, I'm just saying.
I used to yell at me like this about Smash too when I was championing shit on that.
I'm saying this cat is knocking on, like, you know, seeing Dark Prince videos or whatever, but you know what I mean? You know, you don't know like everything that happened, cause see, that cat talked a lot of smack, but then there was a hype as shit fucking money match, the way it ended. You know what I mean? So, and when you got all these cats hating them, yeah, is that much more hyper when somebody's perfect, you know, gets a perfect on him, and then he pulls a plug on the big screen. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that you don't see. So, you know, for you to make your judgments,
I'm gonna have to disagree completely with you there. Dark Prince to me is beyond you know, hype and you know,
okay, but if
friendly
you dislike
talking
them,
for competition.
No, but see,
if you dislike them, it's just that much more hype when you watch them lose or get punked in the worst ways. You know what I'm saying? And that's the stuff that you're not seeing, that you don't know about.
I know all about it. This is Inkblot talking.
Oh, not Inkblot. I'm sorry. I thought there was an aperture.
I'm fully willing to admit that's just a very, very jaded first impression. I'm fully willing to admit that.
So you don't know like all the other stuff that happened that just makes it that much more hype. You know what I'm saying? Like even, you know, it's a bad guy, man. You know what I'm saying? If somebody you don't like and you watch him go down the worst way, it's that much more entertaining.
But you can't tell me that there's someone out there who didn't like it, because eventually wasn't Dark Prince's shenanigans banned from EVO at some point?
Yeah.
When you threaten to knife people.
Yeah, I mean, it goes over the line when you start threatening real violence against people.
Yeah, he does stupid stuff. He's a clown, but, you know, it's entertainment to me, bro.
Yeah, but, you know, I don't know, whatever. I understand what you're saying. I just think at a certain
But you know what? That's also why I'm doing a money match against him, because I can't play Marvel. So, you know, what I'm going to do is, if I win a match, I'm going to quit right then and there. I'm like, just give me the damn money. You know, just to, like, because you know what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to flip it on him. I'm going to, like, because he likes being the underdog, right? So I'm going to be the underdog.
He's going to. No, dude. Okay.
Because I have nothing to lose.
Let me get this question out there. I just want to ask this real quick. Is Dark Prince actually good?
Yes. Yes, he's very good. Ever since he lost to Clockwork and got punked that match, I haven't really seen him lose, man, at all. The guy, ever since then, he's been making top 8.
Last year, Final fucked everybody up on money matches.
Yeah, every tournament he makes, he gets, you know, top place. You know, the kid's been playing a lot the past 2 years, so, you know, people may disagree with his actions or what he says and stuff like that, but in the past 2 years, he really picked up his game, and not even talking shit, Bunk, but I doubt you'd be able to, you know, pull one game and pull a quit on him. He's just been playing that much. I'm not even Duke Rider. I know the game, and I know the level of the game, you know?
I'm just gonna make excuses.
I've been on the phone. I don't know how. Like, I've been only been in funny games. I'm not expecting to even like pull anything against someone of Dark Prince's caliber, no matter who he is. That I was just asking, is he good objectively? Could he place at like EVO? Because I was curious. Because
he has the past 2 years. See, Aperture, this is what I'm saying, dude. You need to do like your research and just kind of, you know, be more of a spectator right now and just, you know, get your history down, and then you'll be alright. Because
why should I? But that's the thing. Why should I bother with history when I just want to play some HDR, maybe some and some Street Fighter 4 when it comes out?
And I mean, know what I'm saying, you can't just drop judgments off of just, you know, just some hearsay when you don't really know what's up. You know?
No, I know that. But like that was a completely irrelevant question. I just brought it up for the shit of it.
I hear you. It's just I'm just letting you know where you at, dog. You know what I mean? I mean, this is something that's been going on for a long time, dude.
Yeah, I understand. And I think with that, I'm gonna go ahead and like the phone because I know I'm taking up way too much airtime.
Turn that shit up, huh? Turn that shit up.
Yeah. You say you a gangster, but you never played nothing. We say you a fakester, and you need to stop fronting. You go to the tournament, but you never played
I
nothing.
love this
You've been
song.
gloving for a long time, and you
It's
ain't
so
got
funny.
nothing.
This is
Damn,
exactly what
homie.
I thought
Why you
Dark
thinking
Prince
you
was
the
doing.
man, homie?
I thought he was.
I love that. All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
I just
see,
saw
when
it
I
on
first
my-
saw him, he just screamed at his whole image screamed out to me. This motherfucker is fronting like nothing. You know, he's got nothing, but he talks big. Because we got those people, you know, in Quake. But I promised I wouldn't be talking about Quake. Whatever.
No, man, he
But
shows
you're
up and
wrong,
he-
though.
down.
But you're
He's like-
wrong.
I mean, you don't,
All right.
you don't show up and put hundreds of dollars down on a video game if you're not fucking confident, you know? You don't
Yeah,
just do
dude, Marvel is a super competitive game. The competition is
It's the
super
hardest
high.
game.
And ever since that loss to Clockwork, he's been in top 8 at EVO. Back to back. So,
What?
he's
What are you talking about?
Dark
That's
Prince.
all
We're just saying, this guy's like saying, oh, he's all talk, you know, this guy's
No,
a
no, no,
character.
I thought you felt off.
But when
From
was Dark
the
Prince
first-
in top 8 at EVO?
I don't know, he makes it pretty far, dude.
Yeah,
Didn't he make top
last
8?
year.
What, the year, well, the year when, the year before last, when he got perfected in top 8. That was on the big screen, wasn't it? See?
No, I don't think that was top 8. It was on the big screen, but I don't think
Like,
it was top
Yeah.
8.
But it was
Like,
towards
I
the
can't-
end. He's legit.
Whatever. He's obviously a good player, and I have nothing
That's all I'm saying.
to
That's
say
all I'm
about-
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if he's got skills, that's fine. But, like, the very first time I saw him was on that interview when he was talking about Clockwork and all them people being washed-up veterans, whatever that bullshit. You know, it just screamed to me that he was just, you know, full of talk. But,
He
I
was
just want
upset
The rest of the
because
shit.
people were picking the team for the West Coast, 5 versus 5. See, this is what I'm saying, yo. This is where we're going backwards in the show, because I just got to keep going over stuff. But
Yeah, and this is great history.
But-
I'm learning
But
a
I'm
lot.
saying, okay, there's a 5 versus 5, West Coast versus East Coast. People are already picking all the OG players to be on the team, and they didn't even pick him when he's like, yo, didn't I just beat these guys in a tournament? That's what he's saying. So he's like, you know, so that's why he called out. Then it turned into a lot of drama. It went to a hype money match. You know, so it's like, you know, you can hate on it, but it created a lot of hype, dude. And it was like one of the best money matches I ever seen. It was dope being at that money match. You know? And then he's like talking shit in the middle of the match, and then he gets owned by Dr. Doom. Just Dr. Doom by himself.
Is there,
How
video,
sick
is there videos of that?
Yeah, dude. All the videos are up there, dude.
all over
Look
the
for it.
place.
You know
Yeah,
what?
all
You
I
know
know
what?
is
One
the
thing I
video I've
like
seen
about
is
Marvel. Marvel is a great game to settle grudges. You know, there are some games that are not made. Like, for example, if I got a grudge against you, playing chess really don't kind of, you know, really make that let that expression come out. But see, I remember when he was playing Clockwork. I remember him. He was calling his Sentinel a bitch and all of that. And I mean, it was funny as heck.
Yes, and it was even better being there, dude. You could hear the hype in the background calling
Yeah,
World
see-
War II bombs and shit. You know what I mean?
See, the only video I've seen of Dark Prince actually playing was when he, like, squeaked by Justin Wong with that low-tier team. What was it?
Yeah, he won 10-6 against Jill Ruby Harkin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you know what? He had to get coached. Like, it was really bad. Like, people had to stop him and like calm him down, and he just, you know, let the characters beat characters, kind of, you know. But I mean, he was close to falling apart, dude. They had to like stop him, calm him down, and you know. and the
Yeah,
crowd
so this
like,
was-
no,
this
you
was
can't
bef-
switch characters, stuff like
Was this
that.
was this before the when he supposedly got good, like before the Clockwork match, or was
You know, okay, see, this is another thing you don't know. It doesn't matter, dude.
I-
Justin Wong is so good, he'll break you the fuck down, dude. He is so smart, and if you see, that's what I'm saying. Just you gotta watch the videos. You gotta see the stuff that he does. Like,
And
like
I'm watching this stuff, man.
Like, watch his comeback be like to Executioner or something like that.
That's a whole discussion, too, on how people watch videos wrong.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, watch that video and see what he does at the end and see how sharp that is. You
Well,
know,
yeah,
he does
I mean,
a Tiger Knee
he's-
Viper Beam to stop Storm from hailstorming to chip Cable to death. So he does Tiger Knee regular Viper Beam, gets enough meter, and combos it into a Super Viper Beam, dude, and kills him. Kills Storm, dude. Just with Cable, like, kills the whole team. Fucking insane.
But you know what? FMJ has a point on the other side of it, Jaha.
What's that?
He says, okay, Dark Prince's History of Evolution. In 2007, he placed 25th. 2008, he's banned. And also, he gets perfected prior to getting top 8 in 2007 by Demon Hio. So he can't really claim a great resume, at least when it comes to evolution. And here's the thing, but the thing that gets me about Dark Prince more than anything is the fact that he messaged me after that team tournament, and and I talked to him for a little bit. It turns out he's not stupid. In other words, he's not dumb. I can sense he actually talks with intelligence or types with intelligence on AIM.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is the first time I've ever seen him actually talk with any type of seriousness.
Text is different than voice, though, of course.
But Leaf was text. You know what's in his mind. He's not dumb. He's actually, to me, he has intelligence. It's just that he has this insatiable need to be different. He's not comfortable in his own skin. I don't get. He has.
Drama.
I guess everybody in their teenage years go through this period where they're not really comfortable in their own skin. But if it's not the perm, it's the mohawk. All right. I was like, come on, dude. What is wrong with you just being Dark Prince or Justin? This one being more Justin. You the black Justin. There's the Japanese Justin. You be the black Justin. What's wrong with just being yourself? Why do you have to go through all of the shenanigans? All that shit you say in your video is full of shit. Why do you do all of that? Let your play be the talking.
Yeah, but it's you could blame some of it on like influence, cause like Mike Chaos, he's a pretty crazy cat, dude. Like he reminds me of myself, like when I was pretty wild, dude. Like,
yeah, but these people are in their mid-20s, though. This is something. If they're 16, 17, 18, I go, okay, this is about expected. But if I'm understand, Mike Chaos is in his middle 20s.
What the way it is with him is that he, obviously he's the type of cat that came from the streets. You know what I mean? And when he sees these cats that like these gamers from the East Coast, and they're not fighters. They're not there for any of that. You know what I mean? But he just sees them and he knows that they ain't got no heart. So he's just on them. Even though I'm just explaining it, I'm not saying it's right. But I'm just trying to tell you where, what type of mentality he's coming from. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are bitches, fucking, like, you guys got no heart. If I was to, step to you guys, just back down type of thing. So it gives him that prowess. Not saying it's right. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not supposed to be, it's not a requirement in the game community.
But he's doing that to pat his own ego. Because let me tell you something. I'll bet, I'll bet all the money in my bank account that he wouldn't do that to, let's say, Jate. I would love for him to see, if he really wants to start something, if he really wants to think that no one has heart and all that, I want him to go up to Jate and say, you know what, like you a bitch or whatever. And because if he really believes that people,
he would get at him, dude. He would get at him because then
you know what? Then he's stupid.
Dark Prince money match Justin with the Ruby Heart Jill. I was right there. Ski was right there. You know what I mean? If he was right there, I don't know how, but him and V More Chun got into it and started talking shit, and they both got right at each other. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But of course, it got broken up.
I don't know. Because you was talking about earlier about the mentality, and this is the thing about it is, of course, I didn't come from the streets. I'm almost was on there, but we got to get out of this mentality as young people, especially in my generation, of the you versus the world. That shit ended a long time ago. Not to say that everything is fair. Not everything is fair, but, we do got a black man in the White House. So that tells you that it is possible. It ain't totally fair, but it is possible. And I think that a lot of people coming on this whole thing.
It's that hedonistic ideal that's caused so many problems in America today. It's that hedonistic ideal that, I have to look out for me, myself, and it causes problems everywhere. It really does.
Yeah, we can move along because we all agree that, EVO ain't the place for it. The fighting game community ain't the place for it because it's, it's about the skills. It's not about none of that, and it's always been like that. So that's, you know, something that
Yeah,
that'll
because,
be me.
because there's a fine line
Politics.
between competition and, you know, and then just crossing the line and become something personal. I think it's stupid to relegate your value as a human being based on how you play in a damn video game. You know, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I money matched our Prince, is because I just want to show him that it's stupid. You know, to sit there and try to base your entire existence around how you're playing a video game. I think it's stupid. You know, I mean, every 2 weeks or so, I go to Preppies and I play against. I mean, I don't know how Ro and J-Mar rank in Marvel, but I assume that they're pretty good. You know what I mean? But, I mean, we still talk, you know, I mean, we still have a good time, you know. That's what I do. I go there to have a good time, you know, and all of that. It's not all about who's best at what, you know.
You watched that part of the video where you called your boy Peppy a faggot? Well,
No. Here's what it is. The drama, you keep the killing in the game.
Right.
You keep the drama in the game, and then when you go back to bed and everybody's fine.
Well, I mean, he's attacked everybody. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't attacked, you know, Gandhi yet. I mean, because he'll.
Watch him attack me. Just for shits.
I mean, no. I mean, he attacks everybody. I'm like, what does Preppy have to do with anything? I have no fucking clue.
I don't. But
I remember. I think he attacked some. Was it Preppy where he said that anybody that nice has to be a homosexual?
Yeah.
Okay, and I was like, hold on. Hold on. And I said, wait a minute, wait. I said, well, wait a minute. I met Preppy's girlfriend last year on 4th of July, helping her bring in fucking food. Okay,
that's what I was telling you. But that's what I was telling you in IRC, man, during that show. It's like, dude, he's making the homo jokes because he doesn't have any better material. Like, that's the kind of shit that's like, you clearly know he's running out of material when all he has is homo jokes.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at that video. I mean, I shouldn't give him more airtime than I already given this, but
right,
you know,
but
I looked at it and it was just really stupid. There was this one dude in glasses that looked like Harry Potter, and he's making all these threats. I'm going, okay,
Chaos guy?
You know, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Chaos is talking smack to Mike Watson.
Oh no.
And now, yeah, well, he kind of figured out who we were, so he calmed down. But now there's pretty much a money match between Chaos and Bagnus.
Oh no. Okay. Moving on.
All right, moving on. I just have two more things to say. I'm gonna go ahead and hang up. One, I love you guys. I love to get a part of this community, and I hope to see great things out of you guys. Two, I'm sorry that we had to cancel your money match because you own the wrong system, Ben. But I would love to go ahead and if we no, here we go. I'm gonna extend the challenge elsewhere. You versus me. We're gonna have to switch the game up to a system we both own.
You both just come to EVO. Settle it there.
We'll see if I can get to EVO, but how about we settle it this way, because we both have PCs. You and me, 1v1 Quake Live for Kraft Mac and Cheese Deluxe.
Alpha 2
Right,
GGPO.
do you hear anything from me that says that I'm remotely interested in Quake? Unless it's Quaker Oats, I'm not fucking interested.
All right, how about 1v1 Quake Live for a box of Quaker Oats?
How about 1v1 Alpha 2 on GGPO?
You a fucking head. Get off my damn show.
You know what? I'll do Alpha 2 GGPO. I'm not good at it, but I'll do it just to have some fun and play some games, man.
Okay, what about this? I got it. We'll play Street Fighter 4 for 3 bags of chicken Maruchan ramen noodles.
Gosh.
Make it
So
beef
lame.
and you got a deal.
Huh?
But remember, make it beef and we got a deal.
Beef? Okay, fine, beef.
I'll give you beef. Hey, Tom, you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, dude. So, you know, this is news to me, dude. What's the beef between you and DSP, dude? I know there's some hate going on there.
Oh.
All right, before that goes,
Is he back in the news?
I gotta run.
Oh.
I just want to say thanks for having me, man.
Tom has to catch me up, dude.
All right, take.
Where did that come from?
Dude, because I'm reading a thread where Justin Wong's like, no, I don't want to be captain for STHD. I'm messing with ST4. and you're like, no, anybody but DSP. And I know that last
No,
time.
that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
But I know.
He's the cap. I said that Justin's the captain and he can choose the team however he wants, even if he wants to say that DSP chooses the team.
Yeah, but, you know,
and
come
I
on,
said
dude,
that
we know,
because I
we know
just
what you're saying, bro.
no, that's not, you're reading too much into it. I just don't want. I don't want the drama. That's why we
drama.
the captains pick the teams, right? It's like I don't want to. I don't want to pick the EC team. I don't give a shit. The EC can pick its own team. Same with LA. LA players can pick who they want on the team. I don't want the drama.
Last time he came in the IRC channel, he just got booted the fuck out because he's you know, supposedly pissed you off.
No, I don't even think.
You know what? DSP.
I'm sure DSP thinks that. DSP is an egomaniac.
No, that's what I
mean,
see Joey saying to him. I don't know what he did. He said something or knocked GGPO or something, dude. I don't know. He said something
No. I don't think about DSP at all. That guy thinks everything is about him. And he'll probably be on the UC team, and he'll probably do a good job. I just don't. I don't think about DSP day to day.
So there was no argument, confrontation, no shit talk, no conversation, nothing.
No, none of that shit.
Nothing happened.
He might not
Zero.
make it out to EVO to begin with.
What?
He might not even make it out to EVO to begin with.
Yeah, whatever. he makes it. Like I said, I don't think about DSP every day.
He should pop up. I mean, he's legit in HG for sure, though.
He said he's got some sort of injuries, though, that he's dealing with that makes travel difficult. I don't know.
What injuries?
Well, I hope he makes it.
He told me last time I talked to him.
Well, he got blisters?
No, he said something with his back or something. It's like actually hard to move around his house or something like that. I don't know.
My point.
Yeah, anyways, your boy D Nice is on the fucking radio.
What's up, D Nice? You get yourself a
I've talked to
joystick
him
yet?
forever, man.
Nah, son, I'm waiting for that shit to drop on Gamestop, man.
When you get your joystick, you can get revenge, dude, on the smackdowns I laid on you.
Nah, it's all love, man. It's all love, no homo. But, you know, see, I'm playing Call of Duty in the meantime, so, you know, got some of this shit.
Yeah, Call of Duty is a game that's meant to be played on pad, unlike freaking Street Fighter, dude. You can't play on a pad.
Nah, I don't think I'll play any fighter games on the pad. I can't even play Dead or Alive on a fucking pad, yo.
I hate Dead or Alive. The 6-way defensive
That's
counter
serious,
is fucking retarded.
It's that serious, man. Fuck. Anyways, yo, interesting night today, you know what I mean? Me and the boys went out, you know, and we was like, we were trying to watch Push, right? Tell me something, man. Tell me how this happened. Like, Push was like, I didn't even get a chance to see the movie. First of all, they only have one fucking room for Push, and it's a very big movie theater. I'm like, how you have 3 spots for what? Not Easily Broken, which is like a damn black people movie. I'm black, just to let y'all know. And I'm like,
hey, did you watch Gran Torino?
Who?
Gran Torino?
Nah.
Gran Torino.
Very good movie. That's a very good movie, and The Wrestler, dude. You're looking at some trash movies, dude. Those are like the only good movies.
That movie's horrible. Push is
Listen,
awful.
I heard.
Do not waste
Ooh.
your money.
Watch a movie that's good. Like Gran
Push.
Torino.
All I know is I am seeing Transformers 2 on opening day.
You know,
Who's not?
Bunk, I didn't like the first Transformers, man. That shit was dumb to me.
I liked
Yo,
it.
like-
You know what?
Kinda
You know what?
dumb.
I think the problem with Transformers is people were expecting too much. I mean, after all, it was a cartoon.
Maybe. But you know what, Bunk? This is what the problems I have with it, okay? Number one, I'm watching this fucking, Jewish white boy Afro kid make all these fucking lame-ass jokes or whatever. It's not even funny. All these other, like, Class B actors and shit, like fucking Anthony Anderson with his stupid donut jokes or whatever. So it's just a lot of, just lame actor jokes was like maybe about a good 70% of the movie. Then the other 30% was awesome CG, but I mean, I'm watching a fucking, little white kid fucking kill Megatron. So I don't know.
But you have to remember the demographics that the movie's aimed towards.
The movie had no focus. It jumped around between all kinds of different groups of characters all the time. That was the real problem.
It's
Hey,
Tyrese,
like-
baby boy.
Yo, remember, it didn't really pick up until, like, the after the first hour of the movie, yo. The first
There
hour
was
of
a
the movie,
lot of fluff,
it was-
dude.
The movie
Point-
starts
it's
with
like-
some military guys in the desert, and then it jumps to Shia LaBeouf in a car with his girlfriend, and then it's like the bad military guys at the HQ, and then there's the hacker
looks like
people,
from-
and then it
Looks like the
back-
kid from Boys Meet World, dude. It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's fucking all over the place. There's like
They
7
got
different.
fucking Even Stevens and shit.
People. This is not an Oscar film. I'm
That's why
not
I
going
didn't
there
win
for the
the
fucking
Oscar.
dialogue. I'm going
Fuck
there
Transformers
to see
bunk.
some heads
Fuck
bumping.
Transformers bunk.
No,
What?
man. No. Fuck that. Listen, I'm not going there to listen to the fucking dialogue. I mean, hey, listen, if anything, the girl should have put out. That's what she should have done in the movie. That made the movie a whole lot better. But, I mean, still, I don't care that the dialogue is corny. After all, it's based on the fucking cartoon. What do you expect? So, I mean, the
Every car
CGI
had
was
to be
great.
GM,
It
dude.
said
How
the
fucking
dude that spoke
was
for the original Optimus Prime reprised his role. All is right in the world.
Well, obviously, fucking putting all GM cars in the movie didn't help them. Fucking still getting
What are you
built
talking
out.
about? The Camaro is badass. You know what?
Dude,
There's a
every
reason.
car had to be American, dude. It had to be GMs. Like, come on, bro. It's like,
I know
You're
where the
watching
fucking
fucking marketing
where the Toyota's at, man. Where the
that's what I'm
fucking
saying,
Toyota's
dude.
at?
Bumblebee was a goddamn bug, bro. You know what I'm saying? VW, bro. It ain't that hard.
Volkswagen?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
No, it had everything had to be
Oh,
GMs.
no.
Whatever.
You hear this? Do you hear this? They want Volkswagen to be Bumble. Okay,
That's what it's supposed to be.
No,
but I'm not
no,
saying that.
no.
I'm just saying it's just that every car, every car had to be GM, which is like, you know, it's like you're watching.
it
commercial.
wasn't all GM because for the Decepticons, one of the bad guys was a Mustang.
Oh, the evil cars weren't GMs. Oh.
I don't know what you was
A
expecting.
Honda ad,
The evil
bitch.
cars were built in Germany. Ah.
What, you want a BMW for I don't understand. I mean, what's the big
Sick.
deal? I mean, the cars look good. That's all that matters, right?
Come on, Ben.
What the heck, man? You guys are dissecting this. This is not the Titanic. This isn't Milk. This isn't Slumdog Millionaire or none of that. I mean, this is a cartoon made into a real life movie, and it will be reflected as such. You guys are talking about the dialogue, the acting, the choreography. I mean, come on, it's CGI, head bashing. You got a cute girl in the movie. That's all you can ever ask for in a film like this.
Are you ladies man 699 Bunkei? Is that you? Give me your glasses so I can find the Allspark and put it in Cyberpunk's chest. I'm gonna give it to this white kid, this Jew kid, to put it in the chest.
Fucking worthless movie. So stupid.
Better than Push.
You guys hurt my
Yeah,
feelings. You guys hurt my.
Probably.
You know what? I'm gonna go drink. I'll be back.
You gotta watch Gran Torino. That's a way better movie than Transformers.
Gran Torino's good. I like that.
Gran Torino is fucking the best movie, dude. It's like that and Batman, probably the better movies of the year. And The Wrestler.
The Dark.
Yeah,
Okay,
actually,
here we
yeah,
go.
that's
Here we
really
go
bad.
again. I think that The Dark Knight might be the best comic book hero adaptation to a movie out of all of the ones that have come out.
I don't
You know
think
what?
it was
Okay,
as good as
no,
Batman
you know what?
Begins.
The reason Dark Knight was good, Bunk, let me tell you why, dude. Is because, okay, there's been like, what, half a dozen Batman movies, you know? Like, you're
Right.
not going to get anything more out of him than what you already seen, is the villains. You know what I mean?
Right.
They made the Joker plus the performance and just the storyline. And then on top of that, you know, in the whole twist of it, they create Two-Face, which is another villain that Batman has to deal with. So, you know, the bad guys really keep something going that's been going for a long time. Like, I mean, if you look at like Dragon Ball Z, it's fucking been years and years and years of guys, you know, just powering up, shooting fireballs and winning somehow. But because they have sick ass bad guys and keep coming out with like better, tougher, you know, more versatile bad guys, it keeps a show like that going. So I just think it's that same effect that what made Dark Knight a really good movie, you know?
I think that now here's the exact opposite of Transformers. This is what all about dialogue. One of the things about I like about the Dark Knight actually has a lot to do with the predecessor, because we've never seen how Batman becomes Batman. We don't know how he got his training, how he was able to fight like that. In the first film, they did a great job of describing how he honed his skills. How he was able to be like how like he could be there and then all of a sudden not be there anymore. All of the stuff all the stealth shit that was great and led right into the second film. And again, Heath Ledger took that Joker. I thought that was a horrible idea to use the Joker.
The first Batman lacked a bad guy. It was just a fucking nerd with a fucking gas mask. You know what I mean? How fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing about it though, I didn't mind though because that it wasn't so much about the villain as it was about Batman himself, about how he became Batman.
Yeah, the origin stories always have weaker villains. It's kind of a waste to try and use one of your best villains in an origin story, and I think they're learning that after all these years of comic book movies. Finally.
So I like the.
Iron Man didn't have a strong villain either, because that's an origin story. So hopefully we'll get a stronger villain out of the sequel.
The Joker, in that I thought Keith Ledger did a hell of a job with the Joker. And the coldest line in the entire movie was when the Joker was in the cell with the police officer watching him, and he says he always talking about why he uses a knife instead of a gun. He says he used knives to find out how people really alike, and and he's like, you want to know who's the real scary one. I forgot what the exact line he used, but he's like, it was cool. I loved the way how they did him. And I thought that he did a great Joker, and it wasn't a blatant ripoff of the, Jack Nicholson's Joker, And he really kind of created his own Joker, and I liked it a lot, They're gonna have a hard time topping that. I just hope that the next one, they're talking about Jim Carrey being the Riddler and all of that shit. No,
Jim Carrey was already the Riddler. They're talking about.
No, I'm sorry, not Jim Carrey.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. No, it shouldn't. I don't know what villain they should use, but don't go back to any of the other ones.
All I can picture when I think of Johnny Depp Riddler is Willy Wonka.
Did they ask Johnny Depp, or are you just saying?
Yeah. They've been talking to Johnny Depp about doing Riddler.
Johnny Depp could probably pull it off, man. He can go from Pirate, Willy Wonka to Edward Scissorhands. He's pretty wild,
he
man.
He can definitely do it.
Yeah, you've seen him. You've seen him act it, bro. He's
definitely. But when I try and picture what he might do with the character, all I can see in my head is like Willy Wonka.
Can I ask you a question? Let me ask you guys a question. I think I asked this a long time. I just want to clarify. In Iron Man, the black dude that's in the military, the famous black actor, I keep forgetting
War
his
Machine.
name, that he is War Machine.
Eventually,
eventually. Now hearing that they're going to use another guy to actually play War Machine, that's stupid.
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's stupid.
Well, the first Iron Man was really good, so we'll see what happens. That was a really good movie, though.
Iron Man was really good. I
was really surprised.
Yeah, I watched it and I thought it was a really good, really good film. And this is going to be the year of the sequels because, of course, the new Fast and Furious is coming out. Now, if you want to see some foreign art that makes this to be the movie for you. We are the best.
Who's we?
I'm just reading shit off the channel.
So, Street Fighter movie predictions, since we're talking about movies?
This shit's going to be garbage.
It's going to be horrible.
Yeah,
they couldn't even get a fully Chinese actress to play Chun-Li. That girl looks more American than she looks Chinese. I know that she's supposed to be half Chinese, but it doesn't really show in her face. I wouldn't have never known if no one ever told me. Is it so hard to get a good, nice, with some acting talent for Chun-Li? I don't know. It doesn't bode well for the rest of the film. Hey, has anyone seen the anime movie yet? That comes with Street Fighter 4, the collector's edition. Anyone watch the anime?
Is it even out?
Supposedly it's already out for people to watch. So no one has seen it. Okay. Supposedly explaining how Goken survived and what he's doing now, and
Man.
I have to see. Man, by the way, I have to give it. You know what? Did anyone even think when he first saw Gen in the game? Did they think of Pai Mei and Kill Bill? Because I'm like, that dude looks just like him. I'm like, oh man. I have to say, he looks bad though. He mean like in a good way. He looks like he's going to be a really good character in the game.
So bad.
Saying he looks like Gordon Liu did.
Yeah, because what thing about though is like I love because after watching I watched an interview with Gordon Liu and he was talking about how he loved pie maze, how they done pie maze in the original kung fu flicks and everything, and then he says when I got the chance to do it, it was somebody else that was going to do pie maze, but then he pointed out to the director, okay, actually pie maze doesn't use kung fu, he uses some type of other form and whatever, and the guy's like, well, okay, well how about you do it? He like, okay, so he went in there. So of course when I saw Kill Bill, the second one, I was laughing my ass off because when she came up there with the attitude, I'm like, oh man, I'm like, this ain't gonna end good. And then when he told her to go grab that sword, I'm like, oh man, I'm like, this is gonna be great, and it was. It's not even a kung fu fic, and it was already like better than some of the other fighting movies I've seen.
So you remember Gordon Liu from back in the day? He's really old school. Like, yeah. Back when he did the drive-in Chinese movies after Saturday morning cartoons.
And he's the only actor that had two roles in in Kill Bill.
Yeah, he was the leader of the Crazy 88 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Bald head dude. That was his younger form.
Okay, Michael Bay said that for Transformers 2, he wanted to make an action movie he can jack off to. Great.
So that means more Megan Fox, right?
Yeah, I guess so. That's not a bad thing. All right. Shit. What? Did you say something?
No, I'm just watching YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like it has Kevin Spacey. I never thought of him as a possible villain candidate for a future Batman film.
Yeah, I'm not a big Kevin Spacey fan. He hasn't done much lately, at least that I've seen. Makes me happy.
The last movie I seen him in was The Life of David Gale.
Yeah.
Which was okay, Got a nice twist at the end.
Hey, you guys want to do some predictions?
For?
As far as what games are going to be hype or not for EVO. Because I have a feeling STHD probably be more hype than ST4, but I haven't seen everything in ST4 yet, but that's just a gut feeling. I think Soul Calibur 4 will be more hype than Guilty Gear, and Marvel and Third Strike will just have to see, but that's just what I think, man. As far as like top 8,
I really like the idea of the 2-on-2 Third Strike having the losers break ties. That was fucking awesome.
No. Sorry, that's just a bad idea. No, losers determine. No.
The reaction that got was incredible, though.
That'll be fun.
Great troll.
The 2v2 would be fun because it eliminates, it down to one Chun-Li per team. So that'll make it better. Marvel should still be hyped, but that's just my predictions, man. I mean, yeah, that's just my prediction, man. I can never really get hyped for Guilty Gear when I watch it, man. Like, I understand everything that's going on. It's just, I don't know if it's the music in the game or just the way it looks or not enough colors when they do a super or something, but I don't know, man. That game just doesn't get me excited, man.
I hope Soul Calibur is exciting. I generally find the game to be pretty boring.
It will be because it's a game where it rewards you for being offensive, so it's fun to watch. All the parrying and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's fun to watch, and it's an offensive game, so there's never really a dull moment with it. And I don't know. I just have a feeling, man, HD is just gonna be more hype than Street Fighter 4. It's just, I don't know. I guess I gotta see some crazy comebacks in ST4, and my opinion will be changed. But that's just my guess.
I mean, well,
man.
you know what? The thing about Street Fighter 4, that's the wild card for me, is the new characters.
Yeah, that's true. But there was a review, and they were just saying that the only new character that seems decent or good, has the potential to be good, is Rose. And that's it.
Well, we all know how great we are predictors as far as when it comes to playable characters on initial play. It's just
yes, right and wrong, honestly, because there's situations where the players were able to pick out top characters right away, like in CVS and shit like that. But then there's games where the tiers evolve, like in Marvel or even Third Strike and Alpha 3. So yeah, who knows?
I think that Street Fighter 4 will have the most hype because I think there's going to be people there that haven't been in Evolution ever before, and they're going to be in the top, maybe in the top 32, and there's going to be a lot of people there going to be. It's going to be put into some really tight situations because they're not used to playing in the clutch. It's like their Super Bowl here. And they got to play.
Buck,
right.
When I first was thinking about who's going to be top 8 ST4 for EVO, and I was thinking to myself, my first reaction was like, it's going to be the same people that you see in top 8s, for all the other games. Ricky, probably, a good CVS or Third Strike player like Buck, too.
Hey, your microphone cut out.
I know it is.
That's jaha.
I know it is.
Okay, there you go.
I'm on a wireless, dude.
Oh.
I'm on wireless, that's why. But that was my first instinct. But, Cali Regionals was, first major that they had out here. And at ST4, the guy that got first is this dude named Bobino that plays, like, Soul Calibur 4 with us. And, like, he's a Tekken player. And he beat legit people in the tournament. Vi, Kenai, Gutex, Edma, Combo Fiend. These are all players that are legit in ST4 and then got the head start and been playing it since the arcade machine popped up in Southern California. You know what I mean? So that really, honestly, that's like proof that it's really up in the air for EVO. It's not like a game like CVS 2 or Marvel 2 where you know where you're at and you know if you're good enough or not for top 8 or not. So,
especially with the new characters, man, anything could happen.
Yeah, and that's just truth. That's just proof. That's proof in the pudding right there. I mean, those are legit players, and the cat, never got taken out of winners. And who do you use, by the way? That fat dude. He was that fat guy. Rufus. Yeah, he was Rufus, dude. So probably just. I don't know. I can't tell you much about how he plays because I don't even watch that game that much, and I wouldn't be able to tell you. But
let me ask you a question. There was a what was it? What kind of, I remember there was a HDR tournament a few months ago, and I guess one of the Wolf Brothers made it to the finals and it lost against this one dude that I never heard of before.
Yeah.
Who was he again? Yeah, that's what I said.
Something.
GameSpot tournament?
I think it was a GameSpot tournament, yeah.
It's like he's something. But STHD at EVO, you give it, the half a year, month's time, and it's going to be like the OGs, like in the top 8. That game is going to be OGs in the top 8 with the chance of a couple new young players stepping in and taking, because Afro Legends, he's not OG. He just started playing with Vi and just got to top level and, ran with Daigo. You know what I mean? But that's a game I think you'll see at least like 4 out of the top 8 OG players, like Alex Vi and, whoever else. Probably some Japs.
All right, I'm going to cut out here.
All right, Tom.
Yeah.
You ever come down to Southern California, Tom, or what, dude? Or you just stay up in NorCal?
I'm going to be there Thursday.
Oh, for the party or whatever?
Yeah, for the launch party.
Yeah. All right, cool, man. Well, I'll see you guys out there. I'll try to come out there and see you guys. It's probably going to be like the same thing as that last Street Fighter 4 party, huh?
Like the Fight Club thing?
Yeah.
It might be a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not next to not across the street from the gay bar.
Oh, great. Oh, wow.
It was like in the top upstairs of like a warehouse, like across the street from a gay bar, Blue Oyster.
Wow.
But it was tight up in there though. It was just like it was about the size of a small club, you know. And they had the music going. It was dark and stuff, but they had a whole bunch of ST4 cabinets. Everybody was just checking it out, getting their games in.
Yeah, so I'll be there, and I don't know.
Well,
all right,
hey,
I gotta go to sleep though.
hey,
Later, bro.
Ink, thanks for coming on,
Good,
man.
man.
I really appreciate it.
Sure. Later.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah, it's getting late for me too. I'm in the Midwest, so I'm gonna get to bed.
All right. Well, hey, I thank everybody for joining me tonight, and
Thanks.
hopefully you had a great. Hope you had a nice time listening to the interview I had with Inkblot with the other listeners or other participants, I should say. The show should be available sometime on Sunday for download.
Thanks for putting on my shit, Bunk. Later, bro.
All right, take it easy.